kind of have to play it then. So tonight's review, I don't know who suggested this, but it was good. This is Envious versus Meta Athena, best of 5. Good stuff.
I get it.
Whoa.
All right, it's time to get it.
Fuck you, announcer.
Shut
up. My stream.
OGN, Overwatch, Apex.
Let me bust up my notes.
Ruins. A place where there should never be any combat of any kind.
Ruining priceless
So
archaeology.
if anyone wants,
Literally ruined ruins now. Or they will be.
Well, Taimu on the Widowmaker, and this is something that a lot of teams actually like to play on ruins, given the long sight lines.
if anyone wants to look at this, look at this.
Actually, playing this on
If you guys want to see my notes, this is my notes for this game. Just to let everyone know what they're in for. I spend more or less 4 to 6 hours per video that you guys tell me to look at. So yeah, we're gonna look over this shit. Yeah. Also, my next up on the list is C9 versus Kongdu. I'm gonna lose like 50 viewers right now. They're like, "Oh fuck, I'm not staying around for that one." In retrospect, like this review, this one took me 2.5 hours. So I don't know how long this one's gonna take me. And that was Renegades versus Luminosity. So let's start this, because
a tournament realm today. So
fuck, we got some shit to cover.
and it means that the players are able to use emotes and whatever sprays they want too.
I'm so happy about
Which
this.
is great. I'm sorry.
One thing is the video is a little choppy, and I apologize for that. Now, before we start anything, I'll just tell you guys a little bit about what I do. If we're looking at King of the Hill, the first thing I do... What up, PM Arthur? Oh, true. I don't proofread the shit at all. Thanks, Mad Medic. So here's the thing. When I look at King of the Hill, I look at for Lucio's. The main reason I look for Lucio's is because most King of the Hill maps, I think we can go to this, yeah. Most King of the Hill maps are going to be open area, choke point, open area, choke point, open area. This is most King of the Hills. And to put even more to this, one side is going to be covered with stealth. It's going to be covered so people can use stealth movements. And the other side is going to provide some terrain advantage. So let's say high ground. And this is probably going to have an environmental. The rocket ship. Environmental death. So what happens is, if you don't run a Lucio... Hold on, there's usually 2 paths. If you don't run a Lucio, the other team's going to be here while you're just getting out of the choke, and you're going to get jammed into the choke. So what you need to do with a non-Lucio pick is go the other route. And then use this high ground advantage that they have against them. Since you're not running a Lucio, you're going to be running Zen or Mercy, both like open areas and high ground and long distances more than the other ones. So expect that. So that's what I look first things first from a King of the Hill.
We'll get there someday.
I'm okay with that. I think the sprays are funnier, honestly.
Yeah. Well.
So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens.
Already. Let's put that to good use.
Oh, also I look for out of place picks. So here would be Widow's important. Tracer's important. Also, Winstons are important to notice. Winstons or Tracers usually signify they want to dive. Widows, McCrees, and Soldiers, usually they want to keep a little bit more distance.
Well, this makes sense.
Early shots.
Meta Athena actually not going to be running. Reaper here, so they have put
So they get a little bit aggressive with the Winston. Just pushes them back.
Saya player right
And already they lost one. They lost their flanker.
Really early is bad. Oh, there's a kill on Chongsik, the new
With the loss of the flanker, Widow gets one shot in.
approaching.
McCree stuns, and this once they lost to Reinhardt and a flanker, the point's over.
Wow, can this one just already be called? Are we allowed to do that?
no,
30-second match? No, okay.
I mean, that's very impressive, but
It's a
this is
great
what we
start.
expect.
That was a little bit straightforward.
Taken the instead of the soldier, the McCree here, just so they have the flashbang for the backline.
Secondly, all right, so this I don't know who makes these choices, but whatever. They run a counter Widow. Now it's okay because there's a McCree DPS. If you're running a Widow only and you ran it as a counter Widow, you have to win that fight. It is like imperative that you win that fight if you're the only DPS and you're a Widow. The reason for that is tanks usually tanks lack range. We'll see how that new tank comes out, but tanks lack range. So if your only DPS that has any distance dies against another long range carry, and you're just left with 3 tanks and 2 supports, it's going to be a very, very uphill battle. So I don't mind the Widow pick as long as, she starts winning the fights. It's also very ballsy to go Widow against Widow.
And Saya player's gonna pick it up and say, you know
It's a hell of a strategic decision.
This is going to be a very interesting sniper duel, as it turns out. Saya player has put up some impressive Widowmaker games.
So while this is all happening, I have no idea what caused this. But
and say, you know what?
we can't see what happens. But you can see the Reinhardts are one-on-one. Like, they're facing each other right here. Right? Reinhardt here, Reinhardt here. They're looking at each other. Because of the lack of spectator mode, all of a sudden, either it was a mischarged or something. The red Reinhardt is now here. The blue Reinhardt is still out here. I think it was a mischarge, is my guess. But there are blue players around. The Reinhardt's been cut off. This leads to his death very, very early. And now the tanks start pressuring. But this is why we can't forget about skill. Is that I talk about positioning and tactics a lot and how important it is. Don't discount skill because you'll get fucked up real quick. They use the terrain and the tanks to buy space when on alt Zarya, and she gets absolutely nothing for it. With the man advantage, they just put pressure right back on him. And they had no chance. It was I really liked how they used the tanks to buffer the damage of the Zarya alt, or the on alt on Zarya. And they also used the terrain to dodge it. She was kind of stuck there. And she also got flashbang, so none of that really went well for her.
But Hoon, they wanted to get that Graviton down quick by putting the nano boost onto him, but he didn't get much time. He was stuck behind that.
Oh, also one thing, I'm just looking at my notes. When they had the numbers advantage, when this Zarya ulted, so right here they have a 6v5. Now notice what they do. The Zarya ults, and they don't really attack her, right? Reinhardt never puts down that shield. This is incredibly important. Why? Because they're not greedy. They have the man advantage. So what they're doing is they're like, hey, look at this guy. She's going to be encroaching on us because she got ulted. She wants to do damage. Our prerogative is to stay alive. As soon as they use all their resources, when they have no resources left and they've dove and they're a man down, they're just going to lose. I think this choice to stay alive rather than attack, super fucking important. It shows this is what a skilled team will do. So yeah. So they accept all the damage. They accept it. And what I mean accept it is that if there's people diving in this way, blue backed up and kind of created a hole for them to fill. So when red came here and all the resources were expended, all blue jumped back in on them. You're going to see that a lot more often, and it's actually quite common. Let's go back to where we were.
The chapter.
worse. There you go. Well, throughout all of that, we did see the nano boost from
So,
Mickey
6C at 15-15.
They wanted to get that graviton down.
Here's that Widow. She's trying to get something.
But he didn't get much time.
This is the problem with running a Widow.
That Reinhardt shield and hit by
So, at this point, Winston dives Widow.
Still looking
And we...
on the time movement.
He ults.
Run away from Mickey.
So this is more or less the bust. Or a wash. I say it's a wash because the Genji killed their Widow and that guy killed their Widow. So they exchanged Widows. But now we're going to see the difference between running a Winston and running a Zarya.
Libero does take down time though.
Winston ulted and got a kill, right? Zarya ults, and
They tried to trap him in
yeah, shit hits the fan for him.
after the graviton surge.
Uh,
Athena
that's the hero
actually win this one and grab the point.
difference right there, in a nutshell. Both different tanks use their ults. Zarya, a little bit more powerful ult than Winston.
timed out. They didn't know we had Earth Shatter, so the combo.
But I like that. Whenever you have a hero difference, it's not, i.e., it's not a mere matchup. So they got, right now, they got off the Tracer. They went to Genji, the Zarya, and the McCree. So you want to leverage the differences in class.
Consequence coming up in the next few seconds, and they have a nano
Also, this
boost
is
right now.
Oh, he got him through the bush.
That's
Are
a-
you kidding me?
that's a dope hit.
He doesn't even need to see him.
Not only that, but he fends off the Genji as well.
How is he so good on this hero?
So at this point, it gets a little bit difficult to tell. I would consider it more or less a wash. Both teams exchanged
Winston bubble.
a couple ults, mainly Ana.
Should come on through, so
That's right.
Zhangshik will be going down eventually close to his base. As
And they kind of just get the better of it.
they've kept
It's hard to tell. The Genji pressure fails. Winston and Rein pressured Red's main force. The Red Reinhardt got a charge off from melee and then died from ult.
Athena throughout all of that has actually maintained that control. Nano boost targets are the same.
So we can't see it, but it looked like he got a little bit too greedy
Envy.
and got killed.
Both Widowmakers have used their ults, so both teams can see each other at this point, I believe.
We got a Dragon Blade though, so
Here we go.
up to that ultimate.
They have to take the point here.
No real support for it, no sound barrier.
Genji...
Trouble.
Oh, you know what? I read my notes quicker. Yeah, the Genji pressure more or less... Actually, it does fail.
Lost Harry Hook. Libero still
While this is going on, Reinhardt... I really hope they get a new spectator system. Reinhardt got an ult off.
all.
I mean, Coco
Gets 2 picks.
everybody though with
From here, the Winston and Reinhardt are going to pick everyone off.
the line and took out the Widowmaker and the two
timing's
supports,
overrated.
making it easy. And you know, Mickey has
While the Genji pressure did...
themselves against the Genji and the
Well, it did fail.
can actually approach that back line, and he's going to give a fist to the face of Hoon, and that's a very desperate Earth Shatter. But
And now it's a mad dash for the point. I don't know if you guys can see it, but they had 7% left.
7% remaining.
They have to run on the point right now. That's why that Reinhardt ult was rough. That's why the Tracer swap comes out.
In overtime, time
Uh,
for a few more kills. He's very far up, but he gets the headshot onto Chris. Libero taking
Good McCree ult.
Deadeye in the meantime, and Envious looks like they've got this one.
But yeah, it was an interesting setup they had there. We'll just go back and look at it one more time. So right here, the Genji pressure, I'll consider it a failure.
Cut down. Ooh. Not by the Dragon Blade, not quite
Not only that,
going down too.
but I believe he gets killed shortly after. Yeah, he's at 60, 70, 80 health.
At all.
I mean, Coco's
He has to back up, and while he was busy, this is why Winston's so good. Winston's really good for aggressive pressure. Him and the Winston, or Reinhardt and Winston,
line and took out the Widowmaker.
it's just so consistent. It's such good, just damage. It has chase, it has consistency. One can shield for the other.
Widowmaker, if you can
And once they got that numbers discrepancy, that's when they pushed it right here.
and that's a very desperate Earth Shatter, but he's gonna need it as he comes on to the point here with only 5% remaining.
So we're gonna skip ahead to the next map. Taimu is fucking, dude, that guy's good. He's a widow, that's for sure. So I have for the trend there, Envy, what they did a lot was they get to midline with the Rhine. Once the Rhine gets to the midfield, essentially, they commit with their divers over the top. And what this does is it gives DPS space to work. That was the kind of the trend that I noticed. So yeah, they'll come up here. They'll send. Oh, they'll send their guys, whoever, Winston or Tracer. They only had a Winston on that one. And what this does is it creates about that much space for the McCree, and at that point, it was a Widow. Do work. That's like the basic tactics, and that's what they're doing generally.
Yeah, coordination, very good for Envy. And this is sort of a must-win control here for Meta Athena. This has been their specialty.
Yep.
So here we go. And before we look, Lucio's check. What else can we look at this? Soldier and Roadhog. This is more mid-range and pick-oriented, while this team, Tracer, Diva. That is fucking aggressive. This is... I look at this lineup and I'm like, alright, they want to dive with the Zarya bubble and get some shit fucked up. What Envious needs to do is get a pick before anything happens. So here it is. Both teams pressure each other. And then for whatever reason, I believe... Well, let's watch it. Let's watch what happens and I'll explain it. Reinhardt charges, gets it. Everyone's fucking purpled. The divers on their team dive and just clean up. Like, this is... If you want to know how to win games really easily, just run part of this comp and dive on the team together and you usually win. So what happened here? And I think what started this entire conflict is... right here. Right here. Zarya used her bubble on Reinhardt. A bit early. A bit greedy, I would say. What does this hat do? Well, after the bubble goes away, Reinhardt's close enough. He goes, look. There's no bubble. I'm this close. I gotta go in. As he goes in, Ana gets called. She grenades him so he can get healed better, right? Also, since he hit the Reinhardt, he's going to get purpled. So he really kills any chance for Reinhardt to come out of this alive. At the same time, both of the divers dive, right? And what happens is Reinhardt actually does live. But everyone else dies. So this was really, really, really good execution on their part, and it was all from one piece of information, right? This one bubble going down. Look, greedy bubble, he goes, fuck it, kill the Rhine now, take him out. Everyone commits immediately, and because they have the dive comp, they're going to come out ahead, right? Envious needed to get a pick before this even happened to really even the odds. It was really cool. And now we'll see, just to make note, Soldier went McCree. So we have a little bit of reset in percentages, you know, a little bit of a change. So here we go. What happens? Pow. What I said needed to happen. Now, they do have a McCree instead of a Soldier. This still makes it a little bit pick-oriented because of the Roadhog, but it just limits their the range, decreases a little bit, the effective range. So what happens? Reinhardt charges in, gets a pick. Roadhog gets a pick. What did I say Envious needed to do? They're running a pick lineup. They need to get kills. Now they got a two-man advantage, and they're gonna bully on point. So all this I'm not too concerned about just because of the numbers. Such a number disadvantage. And now, this is a strange effect. When people try to hold the point, it makes people run to the point, right? So Meta Athena come here, and with lower numbers, because the point is still being held, they want to take it. So they all jump on point, and what happens? They have to overcommit. They overcommit, they lose one, and they're still committing. And then This is a really important ult, and I think many people would miss it, but this Tracer got nano boosted.
Coming in, maybe they got a chance. They're gonna drop the gravitas.
And then once here, this is actually really good for Envious because so many ults were burned, and so many ults were negated because of Zarya.
To recap that point, and
I mean, they have one ult now.
will sacrifice himself to reset. They managed to hold that for quite a bit of time before that.
So this whole thing started with a pick, or 2 picks, I should say, which is what their lineup is designed to do.
On that approach,
Roadhog misses a hook, and now we're going to see him start pressuring because of the missed hook.
that we were watching from Taimu's perspective, either that hook or just trying to hit
Now this is interesting, right? They come around the left flank, or the middle flank.
in a zone right now.
McCree tries to zone or do something, nothing happens.
This tumbleweed got stuck.
And this is a funny-ass exchange. Reinhardt ults, misses most, gets 1, goes to Charger, gets booped. Instead of hitting the Zarya, he hits the Tracer, which gets bubbled,
The Pin on Saya player who somehow lived. I think
who lives and then kills the Reinhardt.
That was some great play there.
At this point, D.Va, it's hard to see the D.Va ult. But from here, D.Va is ulting over here. What this does is, I think of it like Bomberman, because it just stops line of sight, or everyone wants to break line of sight. So what happens is Roadhog has to retreat here, 2 people jump on point, the Zarya has to hide like right here. Because of this,
To Hoon for
they're all pushed into a single area that this Tracer just demolishes.
booped Coco into the charge. The pin on the
What also I want to talk about is we're going to see this type of flank a couple times in this game. Is why did they flank from this side, right? Every now and then I just, I believe the saying is check yourself before you wreck yourself. So red is coming from this way instead of coming out the other way, right? Instead of going through the small choke point or coming around the bend. Now, what the hell does this do, right? Because any good team, this is what's going to happen. Yeah, we'll do it on this. So it's not like the people here looking at this exit and this exit have to do much just to look at this exit, right? It doesn't really change much. In fact, if we're looking at a top-down view, this team is on a smaller circle and this is on a bigger circle. So these guys have to go more distance, right? Just mathematically, they have to travel more distance to get around here. These guys travel less distance, so they're always going to be in position. So what the fuck does this actually do? And what this does is, while they do attack from here, and that's not much of a difference if we're just looking at this one choke point, it's not much of a difference between that choke point and like this little side route. But what it does is it gains them this flank, because they have to stay here and they're going to be looking this way. It allows people to get in a lot easier this way. So this little maneuver, while it is just like a little 3-step out of the way, instead of Tracer having to flank through the tight corridor or this long, narrow corridor, she now gets this entire other flank, or this other choke point to go through, which she does use. We can see at this point, the Zarya and the Tracer that get Reinhardt ulted, they were trying to use this other flank. Try to pull resources this way, and if no one was paying attention, they would have killed resources that way. But this is how the exchange happened, which is completely fucking wonkers.
Timing's overrated. The Zarya shield K-Bad.
I was gonna say,
wow,
yeah.
that was some great heads-up play there.
D.Va forces line of sight breakage. Wherever they group up, team kills them easily.
Saya player.
Chris, I believe, booped Coco.
Timing's overrated.
That's a good way to take back the point. Ah, intense face. What happened, kid?
The target of the pin. Crazy chain of events, but as it adds up, Medathena.
But again, Envious did not get a pick before that before that fight started. They almost did with the Reinhardt and some good maneuvers, but they got engaged on too hard.
You're gonna boop that Reinhardt no matter what. And if it runs into someone else, oh, too bad.
So this is kind of self-explanatory. It is really good patience on the Tracer's part. She waited a couple seconds longer so that more of the sound barrier would be gone. It was a nice little move.
Very close at the end sound barrier, but managed to hit it at the end. Hoon was the one who picked up the kills with the right clicks, but ultimately the
So that,
enough work.
you know, trade alts, Zarya for Lucio. That's common.
Yep. Meanwhile, Saya players sneaking around.
Now this, I really like. So they speed boost through the side. Oh, man. Zarya gets booped. They all jump on point.
He's in trouble. He goes down. Meanwhile, the fight going well.
And at this point, I don't even think they needed that, but that sealed their fate.
Even needed it. Meta Athena, though, just wanting to take this one. They will. To go to the third point here on Ilios.
So it's cool. You know, my guy, everyone should know my little triangle. Where is it at? We're going to look at logistics right here. Why are we important? What I think logistics, when people are moving, is the biggest weakness in all of combat. Look for when people move and strike when they're, you know, en route to something. That's how you kill them. And that's exactly what happened here. They try to speed boost and beat them to the point. Essentially, they're trying to outflank them. But what happens is they get caught with their pants down in the middle of this flank with this D.Va getting an amazing boop. Just knocked Zarya right off the edge. From here, since they have the mobility advantage from their comp, like I said, Tracer, D.Va, they excel at flanking and basically aggressive motions. They use their strengths of mobility, and they struck at Envious right when they were moving, where I think is very weak. So Envious was at their weakest position they could have been at. Meta Athena used their strongest point, which is quick movements, aggression, and with the bonus of getting that environmental kill. I think even if that Zarya was alive, things probably would have happened the same way. So if you run Roadhog Soldier team against Dive, you need to get a pick first. I would say if you run Roadhog, you want to get a pick. You definitely want to get a kill beforehand or really quickly during the fight with Roadhog. But Soldier's I would consider Soldier medium to long range class, so you're looking to deal damage at your most efficient distance, which is medium to long range. I would consider this. I don't want to say you have to get a pick, but it should look like your strengths are when someone's a little bit farther away, which I would consider a pick at that point. All right, this one, Lucio check, Lucio check. All right, check.
I think you just say welcome.
Welcome.
So now they do the same thing. Look at this. What do they do?
Taking a bit more of an aggressive stance this time around.
The same exact thing, right? Whoa! Holy crap, how do I do this? Oh, that was scary, guys. They take the long way, and what this does is it opens up this flank if needed, right? So this is the exact same tactic that we saw in the match before, with pretty much the exact same team. I think the exact same team. So this is a pretty big theme if I was ever playing against Meta Athena that I would look out for.
Looking for the hooks. Give us the hook.
He tries to get a greedy hook here. So that was really nice. Zarya bubbled. Reinhardt dropped the shield. You know, it made him immune to hook, and he got a little bit closer. And now with their back against the walls, Reinhardt charges in. Tracer is flanking. And we're going to see a lot of environmental kills, yeah. They get killed. Right? And you know what? Doesn't that seem like a really cool use of map? Right? That was a complete unique and special attack, right? Wrong. Fucking wrong. Why? Let's go back, boys. Let's go back. What happens? The Zarya is split from the team. I think that's a Roadhog, but Zarya's over here. What happens? the
My
Reinhardt,
genius is finally recognized.
the Reinhardt, the Wrongheart gets the call. Charge. What happens when he charges?
Not with that Zarya shield, though.
Ana grenades. At the same exact time,
Aggressive charge
the Diva
coming in mid. Athena
and the Tracer. The Tracer! I don't know why I keep hitting that. Sorry about that. Flank.
is going for it. Time backing away, but he's got Saya player to contend with. Not anymore.
Does this sound similar to anything?
Goodbye.
Yeah, it should. In fact, this is really fucking important.
We've seen him be very hard to remove on that.
Reinhardt gets the call, charges on a grenade, Tracer, Diva, flank.
Damage, kills traded on
This is 2 matches in a row that they do the exact same thing. And like, if I was a paid analyst and I worked for a team, this is the type of shit you want to like find out, and you figure you shape a dagger with so you can stab him with it. This is yeah.
They do lose chips early. Looks like Meta Athena's gonna
So what we actually need to do is we have to go back another point. Just because we're so limited on data, right? And we have to think, well, why didn't they do it? Well, they didn't run a Diva for one,
I'm okay with
right? They ran a single flanker.
yeah. Well,
They still had the Zarya, still had the Reinhardt.
put to good use. Time on the Widowmaker already. Let's put that to good use.
We'll just skip ahead.
it. So they are.
So at this point, one of their flankers is dead. Right? This is probably a big telltale sign that they're not going to be able to pull off this maneuver. They're also not running a Diva. They're running a McCree, and they don't really want to dive with the McCree. So these 2 reasons are pretty big of a reason why not to do it. The other team is also running a Winston who's aggressive. So I believe the call was never made, and they were too afraid, right? Because with a McCree right behind the Reinhardt, like this, if a Reinhardt charged, he would get stun grenade out of it. And also, if a Reinhardt engages, the Winston would engage on the other team. These are the things, I don't want to focus on it too much, just because I don't have enough data. But if I watched, let's say, another 10, 20 rounds of Meta Athena, these are the things I would be specifically looking for. But yeah, so there's a couple reasons why they didn't do any of those, why they didn't do this call on the first round. But it's good to have this thought process built up of noticing patterns and then going back to the first one and seeing why they didn't do it. But don't focus on it too much if you have limited data.
Welcome. That's a good point.
Let's just skip ahead. We know how this handles, or this goes.
Taking a bit more of an aggressive stance this time around.
So they use 2 themes here that they've used in previous matches.
Give us the hook. Drop him down the well. Not with that Zarya shield, though. Jongsik, very aggressive charge coming in. Meta Athena's going for it.
Now they do kill people in different ways with environmentals and whatnot, but that's just using the map to your advantage, right?
The flying cowboy. Yeehaw, you're dead. Meta Athena. Looks like they're going to take the point first, though.
Yeah, and that distraction with the Tracer.
So here we are. This is where we left off before we got off on our wild tangent.
Was on Saya player killing duty. Meanwhile, their front line was collapsing. They got them with their backs up against the cliff. So environmental eliminations. Chris managed just to land it.
And so here's a what they're going to do here is something that I believe most teams are doing now, and I believe it's the correct way to receive a lot of force.
The only thing needed now against these tanks. Coco.
Oh. So when anything attacks you or anything engages on ground that you control,
Harry Hook switching to the Reaper.
now they were kind of forced here, but look, the Ana was back here. They had the Reinhardt here, Hogs over here. This guy's Zarya is getting pinned right here. They got another guy here. So what happens is if we look at this from a top point of view, this Reinhardt is essentially surrounded. He did it to himself though. This is where the Reinhardt's at. And the rest of these guys are gonna file into this. And what you do is you give way and you make this pocket. And when everyone goes into this pocket, then you start killing them. You'll see this on a lot of maps, and I think a lot of teams are using this tactic now. In this case, They just both get flung into the pit.
Yeah, nice move from Chris. He got two. Both tanks.
Creating such a big numbers advantage, this push is over.
What a boop from from Chris rather.
I mean, the positioning from Meta Athena so far.
And now comes, I think this is like Meta Athena's
Great setups around
just thing,
the environment. They're playing
but they're super fucking aggressive here, like insanely aggressive.
the situation constantly pushed off by a diva.
Oh,
I mean, they burn 2 ults and they don't get a kill,
kills from that surprisingly, but
which is really strange. Yeah, they should have got 1 kill with that.
Well, they get kills eventually.
yep.
Coco will get healed up, and Chip Zion now.
Well, I don't mind it.
Nano boost, but
Pushing them this far forward will make them spend resources
conservative and
just to get to the point, let alone for the fight on the point.
Followed up, the Earth Shatter comes through.
Here it is. It's just more intense aggression.
That 1 kill on Coco, but Taimu's gonna push him back with a whole hog.
So
Prevent a little bit more
Roadhog had an ult and Ana had an ult just to get out of this choke point. So this is really, really good so far.
Envy. Meta Athena has just been the lords of these choke points.
And then they have the Zarya ult to get out of this. So this is a good way to more or less get an ult advantage. And Reinhardt ulted. Like, they're burning everything they can. And this is really good, because even if you do lose the point, if you don't burn too many ults, you're going to get the point the next push.
Finally do. Harry Hook on the Reaper takes out Hoon to end things, but
Yeah, that cheeky sleep dart. Yeah, that is, like, this is some aggressive and
for a team that has
crazy-ass play. It's a little bit reckless, I would think. But I believe their thought behind it is to make the other team burn resources and ults before even getting to the point. Retake the point with an ultimate advantage.
really hard to make it.
So this next push right here is super important.
Hoon jumping down. Lucio.
especially with the McCree switch.
That's right.
So
Town surge time
this has a weird effect. Watch what happens. Zarya ults, they get a pick,
boost meanwhile.
and they all get reapered.
Blossom. Did I say Death Blossom didn't work in pro play? See, when I said that,
There's a funny thing about Zarya ults, is that when a Zarya ults, fucking weird word. Yes, everyone gets pushed into one position, and that's great. But for some reason, it makes the other team group up as well. Like, yeah, let's get this fucker. And they all group up and they fight. It's really weird how this happens. If they kept formation, it would be better. Technically, it'd be more sound. So what happens is they only get 1 kill out of this. And then, because they're all together, they push in. Which is fucking great for a Reaper. And the Reaper just killed them when they're all grouped up.
was given the old caster curse, which means that whatever I
So I
said
think if
proven to not be true.
they only saw one person get stuck in the ult,
Caster curse. Well,
and they get that kill,
Nano boost is up.
I would actually refrain from just pushing in through that, especially when there's a Reaper on the field.
Saya there was late. Here's the thing. If
At least try to branch out a bit, what that McCree was trying to do, and flank.
that ultimate down, and had he been there at the start of it, one flashbang would have dealt with the problem.
This is normal stuff. Pushing him at the choke. Nothing tactically sound here, right? They're just using the choke point to their greatest advantage.
Finds himself on the outside looking in.
Yeah, they've nearly caught up now. And Meta Athena still going strong with an ult advantage, 3-1, but that one is a Graviton Surge, and they're going to have to split up if they don't want to be nailed.
And so here they do. Look, watch this.
Player on the high ground.
They're flanking around the far side again, but they get caught in the middle of it.
Deep looking for that grab.
Zarya ults. The Reaper's right here. Oh, shit.
The team that looked
That is
better in their second
that
match.
is not Control R, or that was Control R. Shit.
Now Libra with a couple kills though. Hoon's
Wrong button.
Harry Hook.
I went to press R for red,
Player on the high ground right
and it didn't work.
now. Shots, here we go.
All right, Mickey going deep.
So here we go. I'm not gonna press refresh. Zarya ults. Lucio mitigates it, right, with ult. Not only that, but Reaper's right here. Reaper can chew through all this damage pretty quick, but he gets booped away.
Sound barrier. Where's the
Reinhardt
follow-up? Mickey just dies. It didn't
ults gets shielded by a really, really quick. Like, this is, I don't know if you would consider that baiting it out, but man, that was really fucking quick reflexes. The problem in this entire push is that I don't know if there's communication, but I don't know where their McCree is at.
like Envious was on the same page with that one. Earth Shatter
Red was all together here. They took 2 ults. They took all the ults together. They Lucio ulted together. And now, here's the McCree on the other side of D.Va. I don't know if D.Va tied him up the entire time, but now they're on the retreat. They were splintered. And essentially on the route, when everyone was trying to retreat combat, they were split up, and Meta Athena just destroyed them while they're all picked off. And now starts the rush. And when the rush happens, I don't want to say tactics don't come into play, but holy shit, it's just a rush for the point. But that McCree, I'm not sure what happened to. Spectator mode stops me from doing that.
Hoon was nano boosted, so he has this Graviton now. Going to be very difficult for the members of Envious to fight.
And they push up,
And that's going to be it.
force resources, they can't even get to the point.
That they can't get there, and Meta Athena ends up winning Ilios.
That attack was really good. They had an idea that the Graviton Surge from Mickey was up, and they positioned Saya player on the high ground. So when Mickey went in, everybody
I just want to look really quick.
land those shots. Here we go.
All right, Mickey going deep. Looking for that Graviton Surge. He's going to use it. There's a sound barrier.
Okay. I see what happened. I didn't see this before. My mistake. We'll see her alt percentage go up as this guy's health goes down.
Where's the follow-up? Mickey just...
So yeah. Yeah, she's at 18% or 10%. 20, 23, and we can see the McCree's health getting chopped off. So that's what happened. It looks like D.Va kept the McCree busy, while Lucio kept the Reaper busy with ult and boop.
There's a sound barrier. Where's the... Mickey just dies. It didn't look like Envious was...
That essentially just left them with nothing to follow up on.
Blocked by Chongsick. Saya player.
Here comes the route. You see how everyone's splintered? Reinhardt's here, Reaper's here, McCree's back here. The Zarya that died is back there. And I don't know where their last... I believe Ana's over here with the Reinhardt as well. But because everyone's split up, they just kill everyone in the route. They took a numbers advantage against Reaper. McCree was stuck too far away. D.Va went to help the right to kill the Ana.
To get back, and they're here.
At this point, it's pretty much over.
The nano boost now. Libra with a couple...
So now,
Absolutely.
we're on our way to Hollywood.
We're to have Envy bring out Hollywood. Widowmaker on attack?
Maybe. Let's go to Hollywood. Monte Cristo.
Here we go.
Well, hopefully today we'll get it every map.
So far, so good. Welcome to Hollywood. Oh, well. Bot should be playing music for me. And
So in the defense, nothing too
Not preaching about robot rights.
That's right.
nothing too stellar. It's nothing surprising. They're running 4 tank. When running 4 tank, 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're running 4 tank. Just remember, tanks. What tanks do is that they secure small amounts of area for a long time. So let's say Reinhardt controls this area. He controls it well. What helps him control it is his shield. Once the shield goes up, he controls space through damage mitigation. And this is what makes Roadhog a tank, I would consider. Why do I consider him a tank? Because Roadhog, I mean, his range is farther, but he controls short amounts of distances, but he controls it in bursts, right? Every 6 seconds, now every 8 seconds. He gets a hook off, he can kill someone, just wipe them out. He sends them to the spawn room. So he controls small amounts of space, essentially through fear. And if someone calls him on to shit, they get killed. But Reinhardt, he does it through damage mitigation. That's what Zarya does to a lesser extent. And D.Va, to probably even a lesser extent than her.
Something that they have.
But yeah, controlling small distances is what tanks do.
All the other Korean teams
Don't think that tanks
distance
do damage mitigation.
and meanwhile
They're there to be long distance area holders.
luck against this particular composition.
And they're going against a Widow, which I like because this is the exact reason why I like Widow. One of High Ground's biggest disadvantages and the best way to take advantage of High Ground is through range, right? If we have a hit this and there's some guys staying up here, if someone's right here, they got a really shit way to hit them, right? They can't even see them. But as soon as you get farther back, this angle gets better and better, and you can see more and more of them. If you're back here, you can almost see his feet. And then if you're on top of a building, even more. And there's little to no high ground advantage.
So maybe they can use the Discord orb to get a little bit
The
of
Widow's here. For whatever reason,
just going to be a lot of healing for Nuss on Ana, and a lot
he gets greedy with a fire strike. At this exact time, Ana shoots him once. You can see the purple line. He has an orb on him, and then gets headshotted. At this point, D.Va puts pressure on just to kill him. He had like 10 health left, and with Discord, it doesn't matter. So this is an insane pick right away. And what I like here, let's watch it first. They lose to Reinhardt, and then they try to engage on him when they have this nice little tight area, which keeps them pretty safe. All the squishies are safe.
Now they got to worry about Chris, but he's not even on the point, so they're starting to build that control percent right away. Taimu does go down in the end.
And then with the numbers advantage, they take it. So let's go back. Boop, 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 boop. And I'll show you what I really like.
They took down Chauncey very fast.
Notice how D.Va's pressuring the high ground, and the entire team is moving into this little corridor to stay safe. Reinhardt goes to point, and just that sound alone forces people to like, alright, crap, we gotta do something, guys. We gotta get on point. So that's what they do. This Roadhog gets on point, or he tries to attack, backs off. This Zarya attacks. And now look at this. Reinhardt. You have 3 guys in here, and you have the D.Va up here as well. She's going to be coming this way. In the middle of all of you is a lone Zarya with Discord on. Like, what do you think is going to happen to her? Right, this is really, really smart. So they immediately take her out. She was so far out of position, it was ridiculous. Not only that, but the coolest thing here is that with this Reinhardt shield up, Zarya cannot get healed. The Ana's way over here. Ana can't get a clear shot, even if she wanted to. And notice how the Reinhardt doesn't turn around. He's forcing her into her own little demise, just by being here alone. She got sectioned off from the team. This is really cool, just picking them apart. D.Va gets the call to come back and kill him. At this point, I mean, you're at I believe it's 3-man disadvantage here. They crash the point, they get the kill.
Yeah, surprising, but Mickey got onto that high ground and took out the Reinhardt Changshik so quickly that everything folded from there.
It was Taimu, though, that got him low. He got a shot in when the shield was turned, and he's making that Widowmaker work yet again.
If you can turn that Widow or the Reinhardt shield, but that's a mistake.
Let's see what happens. Let's go to the next. Holding the high ground, smart thing to do.
Man, when Taimu's Widowmaker, like, she looks in the mirror and goes, when I was a girl, I was afraid of myself.
So this is an interesting note.
So scary, so good.
They retreated from the high ground. They came here, and they went to main path.
It's a statement. Saya player just keeps trying to play this Widowmaker into time.
At that exact time, Soldier flanks. This is something I've noticed about formations over the years. And that is, if we're looking at, let's say this is top down. And so all of their team was defending here. Say, like, this is the main path. They were defending here, and they moved this way. What happens is wherever you were, there's essentially a void, a spot of weakness. Soldier came to this spot of weakness. If you ever go to where someone used to be and you shoot him from there, you'll probably get a bunch of shots off. And that's all it took. It took Soldier, I think he shot a couple times, used his Helix rocket, and got a pick with it. This was a really nice flank. And the flank took, like, his time of visibility was probably seconds, right? Like 2 to 3 seconds that he got the kill. At the exact same time, D.Va and the team pushes in. Again, look where Red's at. Red was here, here, up here, back here, back here. They did the exact same thing again. They create a pocket. Blue overcommits,
Quick
and they kill him on the way out.
get into those back lines, but there will be no diva assassinations happening.
They just want to keep this thing moving. They just want to push the payload as fast and as far as they can, while Meta Athena is kind of on the back foot. Taimu looking for a few more shots on the high ground now. Oh, here's it. He's like, all right, good.
Here comes that Widow 1v1. Also, remember what I said about if you're the only Widow and DPS, like, you have to win that fight. You have to win this. This is such a short range comp that this Widow has to win. And that Soldier also abused the fact that all these tanks were such short ranged. Actually, all the previous two fights, the tanks got outranged.
Defense, I just don't know how they're ever going to retake this high ground if you're Meta Athena, because Taimu has been so dominant.
So Widow's on high ground.
The orb once again.
Things look deep, dark, but Reinhardt gets ulted, and that usually brightens things up pretty fucking well.
Quite fast enough. Self-destruct comes in.
Self-destruct, Reinhardt ult, and out of ult. They get back to point.
Going on a mission, though. Oh,
Right, they waited until everyone were forced to get to close range by using two corners, and then they used the close range of the tanks to their advantage.
Cyber killed Taimu that
Got
time.
Taimu. Yeah. So everything going well. Now it's going to be up to NBS to retake that high ground position. Much better now for Meta Athena. We'll see how they position. Just Diva and Widow up there for the moment.
Flame Strike, you asked a question. What are heroes that are good at creating pockets? Any, really. Creating a pocket isn't limited to any one hero. Usually what happens, we'll see it a lot, we'll see it again this game, is that as a team comes in, everyone just breaks out, right? And because Blue spent resources to get in, they're a little bit more vulnerable. Also, if it's a tank, they can usually defend from one way and that's it. So, like a Reinhardt or a Diva, they're automatically getting shot from multiple ways, so they're going to take more damage. What happens a lot, and this is what teams are doing, this is why you see Winston's ran or Diva's ran, is when this happens, they're going to send some guy on the back lines. Because what happens is everyone's so busy jumping in that they forget to protect the supports. Again, this is logistics, right? This is a logistics move. When they move in, attack them at the logistics phase. It's when people are weakest.
Versus Widow, it's 2-1 in favor of Taimu right now in this this map, or in this
keep the
series
tally.
rather. Yeah, I think it's.
So here we go. Look what's being done. Tanks holding short area with the Widow holding long area.
Diva, try and get inside a player's face. This is a very strange matchup in that.
Zarya ults.
Right, Nuss getting a little bit low. Busy Taimu again.
They get 2 picks. There's nothing to talk about there too much.
Well, they realize
Timing's overrated.
But yeah, once you get 2 picks, that's usually... Oh, hold on, you guys see?
right now, and they're making it work. Mickey has been up and around the sides trying to find Saya player as opposed to with the rest.
Oh, sorry about that.
So it's smart of Meta Athena just to realize they have that numbers advantage and charge.
So yeah, they had the numbers advantage with the Zarya ult.
Taimu actually switching over to the Winston.
And now here comes the Winston. I think this is a smart pick. If you're not doing work with Widow, get the fuck off.
Nano boost. On the
And this guy's incredibly good with Widow, so that's saying a lot.
send himself for Envious is going to keep everybody pretty healthy. Jongsik still gets a kill on the Coco, pretty shockingly. Nuss though going down. Counter is Shadow. Oh, Ash. Or Shatter. Why is it so hard to say suddenly? Coming in from Meta Athena and they try to push it back. It's a huge brawl right now. Jongsik gets his shield up just.
So here,
It's a good kill on the Mickey before he
Yeah,
can
it is.
resuit though.
let's go back a little bit, because a lot of shit happened here.
Nuss though going down.
And it's just a lot of ults. Widow does get the better of Winston there.
Suddenly,
That feels terrible.
they try to push it back. It's
And they're doing... Essentially, they're just crashing on this small little area to try to create space.
Before he can resuit though. I like
And they're definitely using the spawn advantage.
we are going to see him be able to hit multiple people with the Tesla gun when they try and charge him as they've been doing, and it provides an opportunity for him to just go ahead, retake the high.
The Winston challenging the Widow.
dislodge Saya players we're seeing right now.
Constant theme. That's just textbook shit.
around the Harry Hook nearly getting sniped there. That was dangerous stuff. Libero with the kill on the Internet Hulk though. And now Harry Hook
There we go. So this is cool. It looks like
Graviton Surge helped them finish it off.
they're gonna win this, right?
Libero does get a couple kills, though.
Oh wait, no. I'm thinking of a different fight. They are gonna win this.
Struggled here in Westwood.
Aiming's overrated.
So on this one, let's go back to 3655. What we see on the kill feed,
Back away. He does force side player off the high ground, though. Ooh, Harry
we'll see it.
really getting sniped there. A dangerous
So while they're all diving, remember what I said? D.Va gets a pick on Zen.
stuff. Libero with the kill on the internet Hulk, though. And now
Reinhardt gets a good charge off.
banana boost. We'll see if he can do enough.
But look. Yeah, they're all stuck here.
Pretty good gravity.
D.Va gets a double boop kill.
Libero does get a couple kills, though, and actually Meta Athena turning the
So yeah, it's that sixth person that dies while the other five are keeping you busy. It's a really good tactic. I like the 5-1 flank.
With the boop to get the
We're gonna see it a lot more tonight too.
members of Envy, and Saya player hasn't really been knocked off that high ground for very long so far.
So again, Widow, right? This is her superior range. This is where she's strong.
Rage, but
This is what
everything else was
this is what you do.
by Envy in that fight, and Meta Athena much closer to some big ult,
Now this is fine. Finally, they start doing shit.
finishing off this map. Waning
What do? They flank all the way around, and while they do that, let me do a top view. So if we're looking, and this is that building right here. There's that staircase, right? There's that balcony. So what the offense did is they came around this way. Well, the defense is right here. Right? The Widow's back here. And I think they had someone on the high ground. The cool thing about flanking this way is that you can put people on the house that contest the high ground. And what this does is like they're not far apart, right? This essentially, you're getting 2 for 1. You're actually taking the shorter path, but you're securing the high ground at the same time. So that's what the D.Va does up here. It pushes this D.Va off.
much more difficult.
The D.Va Winston up top.
now for Envious to push
And now,
point B. Here comes
what did we... This is really cool. This is what I like about the D.Va Winston combo. Is that... So we have this building here, and we have this building here. The Widow was over here. No, that's not what I wanted. The Widow was over here. The Winston and the D.Va were here, right? These guys were here. And the rest of the team was scattered over here, right? Because they got flanked. So there's a defensive line right here. Now, Winston and D.Va, they're both mobile heroes. So what do? They attack here. Not only do they kill the Widow, but now they've pincered Blue. So this is really cool. Right? They used their mobility to get right into there. They got to the squishies. They got to the Widow. They got to the Ana. They almost killed Lucio, but he ulted. And now it's kind of a mad scramble, except you got a 2-man advantage.
but it stopped again. You know, Envious has to
So the D.Va and the Reinhardt, they trade. And now the fight for the point happens. Now this is a cool maneuver that the Soldier's about to do. Soldier ulted. Now he's trying to get a better angle on this Reinhardt. And now he runs in deeper. And this is super fucking smart. And you'll see it in higher level players a lot. Is that sometimes... So if we have a Reinhardt here, and these guys are here, right? And this is a top-down view. Sometimes it's good to get in here to be a flank, but once you're found out, like everyone wants to go this way, what you do is you run deeper in. And you create a pocket of safe space, and it forces these guys to make a decision, right? These two guys have to go, all right, do we go back in? Do we kill them? Or do we have to deal with the threat out here? And making someone make any amount of decisions is infinitely better than not making them make a decision. Because every time they make a decision, they have a chance to be wrong, which you can capitalize on. So this Soldier makes this Bastion here. Reinhardt can't... He has to deal with the main force. With this, at the same exact time, it's going to be hard to see.
Just so they can get into the doors.
But notice how they're all stuck back here. We'll see really quick. Oh, I don't think I could stop it in time.
So they can get into the doors of the studio.
I don't think Harry Hook won.
You can barely see the red outline. This is a Winston. So everyone was stuck back here. Lucio's right here. Reinhardt's right here. The Winston came above. And soon enough, we're going to see the D.Va come in as well. Right? And that's a bit of a common theme. This Reinhardt gets flanked from too many points.
Does a ton of damage too.
So yeah. This is using their the D.Va and Winston mobility to their constant advantage.
The end there.
As soon as someone's dealing with the front line, just dive on them. It's so effective.
Really held that primal rage for a long time until the rest of his team could get into
Hello?
take advantage of it. And they could get a definitive push off. So didn't pan
No, my mic's working. I can see it.
100 HP instead held on to that ability. And
So this is they try to get some people, some stragglers.
days of Hollywood, but only a minute 15.
Time for camping up there, waiting for the Widowmaker, seeing if Saya players.
Winston trying to do some sneaky monkey stuff. Gets called out. He actually gets called out pretty bad.
They want though. They're kind of
He misses the jump and dies for it.
through the doorway. Yeah, I was gonna say that was a bit over aggressive for Envious.
This gives the other team the high ground. With the high ground, they just push. Right? Everyone just pushes on them.
Missed the jump onto Winston. Can't quite get out of there in time.
They're gonna get pushed out.
They're going to be
Right? It seems silly that just one little kill like that has that type of effect.
6 ults now.
But that's what actually happens. You lose the high ground and people start attacking from up there, and you kind of have to retreat for a little bit. But they gain that space back almost immediately.
Yeah, Saya player nearly has that tac visor. They're gonna go ahead and use the sound barrier to try to stay safe against the Graviton Surge. Saya player coming in with the tac visor right now.
So they use, I think, almost everything here.
The rest of the team getting some benefit.
Let's double check. I'm pretty sure it was close to everything. Yeah.
5 seconds left. And be in a similar boat though, so we'll have to wait and see.
Zarya ulted.
Nearly has that tac visor.
D.Va ulted.
Use the sound barrier to try to stay
Lucio ults. Reinhardt ults. Soldier ults.
visor right now. So many
Ana just ulted.
he's not getting too many kills, but
They... Right, but there's only 25 seconds left, right?
looks like
Only 25 seconds. It's fine.
it's left for Envious. They've got some ults.
But this hidden Winston,
Ultimates for that defense, so
what does he do? He takes the Reinhardt out of position. He throws the Reinhardt into his own team.
tools, nano boost, now down onto the soldier, and the kills are going to start coming in here for Envy.
At the same time, D.Va committed in but gets killed.
A bit more from Harry Hook.
Now all of them just jump on point and it's a mad dash for this point. You know you got to stay on point,
With Nuss out of the way, there goes the healing.
and through that
It's just so hard to dislodge him from
they start getting kills. Right? Tanks are good at small areas.
all over. Finally, they take
Tanks with support will beat tanks without support.
the payload is moving.
Oh, they got a lot for that.
Winston looks for anyone trying to flank.
Doing very well. The commitment for Meta and Athena may have been too much. With the 15 seconds remaining, blowing everything. It's not really in their interest as we get at least another bit of a push here coming through.
So right here, D.Va and Winston, they do the same thing they've been doing every single fight. As the main line is busy, flank in. Just jump in. Cause some havoc.
If they want to push this all the way, here comes
D.Va ults, everyone's scattered. That was beautiful.
one more fight. They have to win.
Watch this.
Want to
Lucio, I believe, speed boosts.
push this all the way. Here comes
Everyone scatters.
no kills from that.
Nothing.
Still healthy for the moment. Has to
And what that actually does, and what they did, really, really helps them,
they leave it. Kills coming on both sides, but the respawn
is that notice how they're all just picking off people on point, right? Everyone's away from the point, and they're picking people on the point.
to keep them going through the end of the
It's funny that the answer to the D.Va ult,
Diva. Oh, Saya player gets back just in time.
yeah, they're all just dying. Watch this. I think this is really cool, and how it works to like 2 times the effect.
They have to stay on the payload too.
Oh, we gotta go back even more. We gotta look for that D.Va ult.
They have to win if they want to push.
So D.Va ults straight in. What happens? Red goes that way, goes this way, goes that way. And I think they go this way as well. Now, what they do is they've made a pocket to receive everyone. Also, I didn't know this, but look, no one's on the cart. I don't know how many people know this, but the cart capture area, I believe it's twice as wide as it is long. So I believe it's like that. But I thought the Reinhardt was going to step off. But when the Reinhardt was here, I didn't realize how big the area was. He actually got the point back. So now, you would think, after everyone went away, they have 2 on point, right? And they create this pocket. And what happens is the tanks stay on point while the squishies are back in that pocket formation, just picking off people as they jump on point. This is incredibly effective. Again, the team has to jump on point. They can't push past the point and commit on these squishy players because they don't have the time. So while the tanks are holding the main line, the people have formed a pocket and they're just killing everyone from afar. It's really nice.
I was impressed there by Envy's fortitude on that last push. Once they had a
That's really beautiful how they do that.
first, got the graviton
It's the old pocket trick.
apart.
It's super effective. I think it's one of the best ways to accept an oncoming force. What, I gotta press this 10 times? 10.
Just to get some of that early charge.
Okay, so already huge thing. Double builder. Double builder.
I like how we're seeing more of a hero pool.
So you want to win the first or second fight. As soon as you start losing fights, things get more complicated. I don't know why this guy put the turrets looking the wrong way around, but I think he loses about 10% because it has to keep on turning around.
This is either going to work great or it's going to fail immediately. That's generally how these work.
Okay, that's going to be a lot of old charge. Take a look at Mickey.
Hey.
11%, 12%. Okay, so not a ton.
Well, it's still. It's about.
And this maneuver is fucking dope as shit.
Percent looks like for Internet Hulk by the time they actually reach the main gateway. So,
So they did this super quick, but what they do is they speed boosted everyone into this other door from security to go behind them. And look how fast this is. They're all like, "Hey, where the fuck's oh, what the fuck? They're all back there." And they exchange places. So what does this do? It negates all of the buildables. The turrets are there. The Torb's turret's back there. This puts Symmetra on the high ground with the soldier. It essentially changed places. Now they have the high ground advantage. These two people over here aren't doing much. And it's hard for the tanks on this team, which they got 2 tanks, 2 builders. The builders were kind of made less than efficient because of the flank. Tanks are less than efficient because of the high ground advantage. They just got to on a fucking soldier.
take a very fast approach around the side. This is not very often that we see an attacking team beat.
So they pick, and then they all jump on point. The long range classes on a soldier stay up at long range. D.Va encroaches. Reinhardt's on point.
Go through that shield coming out of Internet Hulk.
With the builders less than efficiently, or being used less than effective, it's essentially a numbers disadvantage right away.
What we talked about with this, it either works
This was a really cute maneuver that nullified the builders and gave them a terrain advantage.
Really covering Cafe because you never expect an attacking team to be able to flank all the way past the car and into the doorway. But because of that, a lot
It was, of all the maneuvers I've seen in Overwatch so far, that one right there was just because of the speed and efficiency that they did it, and the fact that the other team went double builders, and they just, that one maneuver, right? No, it wasn't about skill, it wasn't about, headshots or whatnot. It was simply the way they moved, negated, 2 classes, and then put the other 4 classes at a heavy disadvantage.
to Winston last time. Gotta worry about that D.Va though.
Well, Mickey actually picks up a kill onto the support. Again, an aggressive play using that nano boost
So,
in the front line, but
A Saya player uses Tac Visor, they didn't get a lot out of it.
basically just eat.
let's watch this again. Sorry, I was reading my notes. So right away, look what happens.
Gotta worry about
We're going to see Blue
Actually picks up a kill.
overcommit. So you see a Zarya ult, or Ana ult on Zarya, the two main tanks. They come down this main path, and they're going to commit very, very far.
So not too surprising to see him use this where
What happens? They create a pocket, right? They're up here. D.Va, as everyone is getting received, D.Va flanks. It's not even a flank. D.Va just charged at him. This is what you can do with D.Va and Winston, because they have the mobility advantage. D.Va,
Winston last time.
while everyone is busy attacking this main route, you see they're still here attacking. Look at the kill feed.
Actually picks up a kill.
D.Va gets the support, comes around back, kills the Reinhardt from behind. From here, she just sacrifices her mech as essentially a shield. She just eats up all the damage, forces everyone back.
Two ultimates to that, and Envious didn't commit any. So nice hold there. Initial nano boost not going to work. Follow it up. Attack visor. They got to push off of this one.
So the soldier looked like he was flanking right. We'll see if he goes up top.
On Surge in case he wants to use it.
So yeah, the soldier's right here. And now this, I think, is used less often than it should be. This Zarya thing to pull him off the high ground, that's beautiful. Why? Because you get one number advantage as they're pressuring to get a second kill, and all of a sudden this snowballs on them really hard.
Harry Hook had the tack visor though. So
Some people would consider that less than effective use, but if you can get 3 kills in a chain effect from one ult, then I consider that ult getting 3 kills, even if it didn't get 3 kills at once.
raining hell down from above, off the lip of the building.
I like it. If you're sending the D.Va after the Widowmaker, you might as well
So they
just do something
pressure the point, D.Va ult,
Libero actually killed Coco with a self-destruct there.
and here come all the other ults. All the tanks on point, just shooting each other.
Defending fight again. Harry Hook with the nano boost, but he's had to run and hop.
Oh yeah. So watch this.
Hasn't gotten a lot
We're gonna see it. It looked like a favorable alt exchange for the defense,
suffering a little bit in the defense.
but what we don't notice, or at least most people don't notice, and this was
Successful when it comes to shutting down.
he as soon as he hit that button, I think he realized how bad of an ult that was. So while all these alts were going off, and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, it was a wash." Defense has a spawn advantage here because it's getting really close to point. Reinhardt right here is shielding the other alts, so we think red just came out on top. Actually, watch this. Right here, we can see it. A Widow shot. She's at 18%.
Actually killed Coco with
She's at 25%.
somehow. Here comes Envious.
As these alts are going,
The
she's at 30%.
again, Harry Hook with the nano boost, but he's had to run and hide. Hasn't got
34% now. All right, so she's doing some things. 35%, 44, up all the way up to almost 50%, 57%, 58%,
A lot of credit to Libero as
59. Yeah. So she's at 64 now, and you only see her in the kill feed right here. Oh, all this Widow did was kill a little D.Va. Big whoop. Actually, she softened everyone while the alts were going on.
optimistic tack visor. Yeah, even Saya player saying, nope, that was not a great time to use that one.
I tried to get that
So it wasn't just a little bit of a favorable alt usage. It was the fact that no one contested the Widow on the high ground that softened everyone up.
reinforcements.
Yeah.
But Meta Athena push has been slowed down pretty dramatically now. Only one player with 50% ult or more, so this is going to be pretty slow push.
You can see Harry Hook taking up a position that he's able to defend Taimu with as well on the
We're gonna watch this a couple times. This has to be one of my favorite plays I've seen in Overwatch to date. We're just gonna watch this. They flank around back, and again, they take the high ground as they're flanking.
did use his ultimate. They know where everyone is. Libero still gets a kill on the Harry Hook though.
They essentially use a D.Va ult on the other side of the defensive formation to try to essentially do a mock splinter,
Into a team fight win. Taimu
while this Widow is just constantly pressured by this fucking Lucio.
looks super annoying. Oh,
Lucio, watch this. Oh shit! What happened, buddy? Oh, Get your ass kicked.
Couldn't hit the shots onto the Lucio.
But people,
Slow after that sound barrier fell.
that was it. They get the point. The fuck? But this part, watch this.
Push.
you can see Harry
I didn't realize this till for a while. Here's that fucking Lucio.
Taking up a position that he's able to defend
Lucio
Taimu with as well.
contests the fucking high ground.
It's nice teamwork there.
He boops the Widow off the high ground. As the soldier's busy with him, D.Va comes up and kills the soldier. The soldier is busy with the Lucio. D.Va kills him. So now they've secured the high ground,
He did use his ultimate. They knew
which is great.
still gets a kill on the Harry Hook.
They throw up the D.Va ult while pressuring.
Dodging people from that room.
Widow, like Red tries to mitigate this with Lucio ult.
Gets the
This whole time, this Lucio, which has no neck really, or is all neck. That's a really weird frame I caught him on.
sound barrier. Envious trying
Is on the Widow a fucking again.
a bit more. Trying to find one to Chris here. Lucio super no.
Why I want to say this is so important. Oh, the zoom in of shame. Why this is so fucking important is that most Lucios right now, and like DSP Stanky, I love the guy. He's a good man. He's really good on Lucio. What he does is he makes everyone think Lucio's just about wall riding. So like they just be like, oh yeah, that's cool. We're just gonna chill on the walls and we just do random shit, right? This is what Lucio's about. He contests the high ground with his secondary fire. And like I just want to make note of it because how can I say this? So there's a reason why when I do analysis, I specify like tactics. I'm talking about very vague things. I'm like, all right, they came up in the high ground, they pushed them on the low ground, and then they flanked them, and then they won through a numbers advantage. I'm not focusing on something like, oh, this guy shot this guy. This guy should have went this way and go this way, and then he would have lived, and then he would have like solved this case. Like I think that's a bunch of bullshit. But also, it's putting my like will on the game. Like I'm going to tell you this is how the game works. I don't like doing that because I like to accept the fact that I'm not that smart and that I make mistakes. Because if I told you, hey, what's a good answer for a Widow on the high ground? I would be like, if I said, oh, you use Lucio. You use a Lucio and you just push everyone off the high ground. Like that's how you defeat Widow on the high ground. And everybody would be like, Crow, you're fucking retarded. Lucio would never, ever can take the high ground from a Widow. And actually, we're going to see this a couple more times just because I watched this entire thing. This Lucio, they use him to great effect on taking the high ground. And I believe taking, defending, and just everything with the high ground. It's beautiful what they do with this guy. And what makes it so nice is that since Meta Athena is using this Lucio to such high efficiency, it really takes the load off the rest of the classes. And I think this is like one of their hidden weapons that I don't know if many people are taking a part of. This is a really cool thing to notice. And this Lucio does a lot of good work. And I could never, ever in my wildest dreams predict that a Lucio would be a key ingredient to holding and taking high ground. You guys got to keep an open mind and, you know, allow other things to affect the meta and whatnot. Like, you can't come up with anything. You can't think about everything. So it's best just to sit back and just watch how things develop. Too many analysts throw their will on the game and they're not willing to accept what happens. Because they'd see this and they'd be like, oh, that Widow sucks. She should have done something better. This Widow is one of the best Widows in the fucking game. Like,
teamwork there. It's time
shit happens, guys. Like, not everyone's perfect all the time.
to use his ultimate. They know where everyone is. Libero still gets a kill on the Harry Hook, though. They've been so good at dislodging people.
So yeah, we're going to watch this for the third time. But this Lucio,
Barrier. Envious trying to change
incredibly good.
the fight win. Time looking for a bit more. Trying to find one to Chris here. Lucio super annoying. Oh!
Yeah, essentially this Zarya ult, they get a numbers advantage, and then they Zarya ult, get a bigger numbers advantage, and then they get the point. Tactically, what I would take apart is that how they use the soldier or the Lucio and the D.Va to take the high ground while attacking. From there, they took a numbers advantage, and then they capitalized on it with the Zarya ult to clean up the rest.
Time to take this and get it done before
Libero's positioning has been super good throughout this series. His ability to create...
Cuss Freak? Sir Cuss Freak?
He's getting a lot of kills.
So you heard if two teams of equal skill go against each other and one's running a Lucio and one's not, the one with the Lucio wins. I don't want to say I tend to agree with that, but because of this, whoop, Lucio, his boop attacks at the logistic level, and with his speed boost, he defends, or I guess it'd still be attacking. He attacks at the logistical level both ways. Boop is a logistic attack. I need a better fucking name for that. I always sound really super weird when I say boop. But yeah, he attacks at the logistical level, and he supports at the logistical level. And because I see his logistics as a superior way of playing the game, because that leads to better positioning, which allows you to have the easiest method of attack. Right? If I'm in a better position, my mechanical skill is greatly needed. My mechanical skill needed is greatly reduced because my position's so well, and like I line myself up so I can't miss the shot. So yes, I would say a team that focuses on logistics is going to beat one that doesn't. And Lucio and Mei, those are the two people that attack logistics. Here we go. Zarya ult. D.Va ult. They're just trying to clear space. So they get 2 pick with the Zarya ult. But as they push, they got rotated on by that hog.
Self-destruct as well. Mickey trying to get a couple kills. Can't quite make it happen though. That payload nearly there.
And they ult out of this.
So he's gonna get hit with the Earthshare though.
This is really... Okay, so like I just want to focus on a couple moves. So the first is this hog getting the soldier. So, sorry, I was fucking around with mute. As blue comes in, red flanks from above, and I guess side above. I don't know what you want to call this. Roadhog drops down. This is really, really smart. Right? They're split. They have to pick one side to kill someone on. Lucio ults. D.Va ults to create space. Their Reinhardt ults stops the Reinhardt that was Ana boosted. But right here, this D.Va, this fucking move, pushes everyone away, absorbs all the shots, saves the Reinhardt, and they can't capitalize on their own Reinhardt's ultimate. From there, cleanup ensues. The D.Va and Roadhog flank from behind, and then the D.Va negating the Reinhardt ult. Those are key ass plays. It was quite beautiful.
Remaining and very few meters left to go for this limousine. Okay, they're gonna try and get a high ground flank.
This is something I haven't seen before, and I like the fact that they tried this. Their execution was off though. So the entire team's coming high ground. It pushes them off right here. This is what killed them. This Zarya drops before they've set up over here. What happens? Zarya dropped too early. Ana has to support her, and they commit everything. And now they're surrounded. Yeah. So this is the funny part. I mentioned this in the previous game. And it's just simple mathematics. People think flanking is something magical. And when you do it right, the team can't do anything about it. That's pretty much bullshit. When this loads... Don't do this to me. Oh, YouTube. So what happened is... Hold on. Oh shit, I just lost my train of thought. That fucking loading time. Now my brain's loading. Oh shit, I forgot the point I was gonna make. Son of a bitch. Oh, no, I got it. Pow. So they use this long path to flank. And what happens is, you think, alright, this is a good flank. But the problem with this flank is it takes so long that these guys just rotate, right? And they're going to be back here. So it's just mathematically this large circle. Both of these teams rotate like, let's say 180 degrees, right? They both go from this part of the circle over to this part. The problem is this circle's a shit ton smaller than this circle. So this flank that takes 10 seconds, NVS is defending against it within like 2. Right? Like, look, they're still trying to go around, and then all of a sudden, like, oh, now look, all of NVS is already defended right here, right? The Reinhardt puts up the shield, and they just exchange places. There's nothing magical about the flank. In fact, because they had to commit so many resources to the Zarya at first, there was no resources for anyone else, right? Ana used her grenade and ult on a Zarya that was almost dead. They get the better of the exchange.
I'm unsure, Doa, how Hoon got down there onto the payload because the setup was not complete for the rest of the
Yeah, I was talking about how flanking isn't magical. Thank you, Surges.
It could have been beautiful, but that actually forced
So we're at a minute 15. It's not quite go time where everyone just jumps in the point yet, but you know we're running out of time.
immediately grenaded, so he couldn't even heal him after that. Just when you try those
They tried some sneaky shit on the high ground, and I think Roadhog ruined this for the soldier.
on the same page, because otherwise
If I was soldier, I'd be like, man, you fucking fat ass. Like, get out of here. You ruined it.
one of your flanks to get the initial pick. That time, not so clean.
But I like how he's holding the high ground, for one, because they got the information that these guys are on the high ground now. So with the soldier up here, if they went down lower route, he would have seen them, and if they go up over upper route, soldier can get the information and just run away. So here they go. They do this again. This time, Zarya does not jump off the edge, and they get this full flank around. Roadhog immediately ults. Here's the Roadhog ult. At the same time, D.Va just eats the ult up. Zarya ult gets little to nothing. And this Reinhardt ult, it looks like it only kills a soldier. But the thing was... Watch this. Ana ulted the soldier. So that got him immediately. That was a double ult they got. That was incredibly important. So that Reinhardt ult was definitely worth it.
The payload is still contested. Libero on top of it, though. Mickey doing... Oh, he nearly got back in the soup, but not quite. He's close.
Charge actually solves that problem.
Yeah, nice sleep dart. Zion trying to stay alive, and here comes Chris, the killer Lucio. Can't quite make it happen. We're into OT again. Envious has managed...
Here we go. Sorry.
Timing's overrated.
Reading over my notes again. So the defensive... Yeah, here we are. The defensive soldier on ult gets Rein ulted. This uses it up... Yeah, they use up a lot of ults there. So that Reinhardt was great. It ate a bunch of ults. The Lucio ult here is going to get waited out. Or it did get waited out. Blue waited the red Lucio ult out. And now with overtime hitting in 10 seconds, they just have to expend all their resources. Here we go. So D.Va ults straight up. This only gets this D.Va out of the mech, which is good. But you'll see, again, D.Va ults to get her resource back. This whole time, this Rein's holding this ult. He's just buying time. Just buying time. And as everyone jumps on, he gets a 3-man ult. The other thing to notice, and here's the funny part, guys. While all this is going on, Look at the Lucio. This fucking Lucio is in the middle of it.
Toxic
Like, what a boss.
struck. Envious coming in with the respawns again. The Earth Shatter.
Hold on, where was it? Did I miss it? I missed it. Sorry. I didn't tell you the real reason why that Lucio was a boss.
Can't quite make it happen. We're into OT again.
Here we are.
Has managed to hold it this long, but they gotta
First of all, here's that fucking Lucio again. And what's a big thing to note is that the Reinhardt's low in health.
hold it.
This Lucio, look at this fucker.
Hollywood.
He punches the Reinhardt to death.
They've got
The Lucio dove for the Reinhardt and kills him.
the nano boost back onto
What does that mean? That means while this Reinhardt's been holding his ult the entire time, guess what's there not to stop him? Any shield user.
the respawns again.
Uh,
Not really claiming any
that Lucio is a fucking beast. And I think if that Reinhardt was alive, this fight would have been very, very different.
on that diva as long as possible. Gets popped out of the suit anyway. It's so close. Mickey's still alive.
Like, I think this... I don't think anyone really focuses on how good this Lucio is. This Lucio is doing so much goddamn work.
Well,
Yeah.
reminder to our fans.
High ground flank. Defensive Roadhog ult and Diva eats it. The team runs away from it. Defensive Soldier and Ana ult. Reinhardt ulted them.
And you have to believe that
They wait out the Lucio ult. Offensive Lucio hunts down Reinhardt after overtime hits.
in favor of meta
As the team DMs, Reinhardt waits for the enemy to focus on point.
Probably not wanting to
His patience gets him a 3-man ult on cart during the scramble. Blue caps. Defense didn't have a Reinhardt to stop that ult.
remember
That's verbatim from my notes, folks. That Lucio did fucking...
worried if the
God, that was such a good move.
block. And we've got Meta
And the fact that he was always on the cart, like, what a ballsy son of a bitch.
this time. They just want to try to charge in and make some picks. Back to triple tank.
So here we are, it's overtime. Both teams capped in overtime, so they both get 1 minute. Which is roughly like 1.5 pushes.
Actually, it's a nice fire strike right there. Takes a chunk out of Harry right off the bat. Falling down from the high ground now. Another nice fire strike.
So this soldier gets hit twice.
Down to about half health.
And that's just important because it's building Reinhardt ult. Now this Reinhardt charge, this was a really good charge because it looked like they wanted to get back to past the security room like they did to the other team. Reinhardt forces the soldier in here. The enemy Reinhardt got thrown this way and the Zarya's over here.
Nearly gets charged right there.
What you don't see is the soldier, he dies to Zarya, but he got hit twice by the McCree. So once that that one charge that split the enemy offense, that's what won them this point.
They tried to go through security.
It split them in half. It flung the Reinhardt too far away. They got 2 picks in security room because of that.
Into his own
From a 2-man advantage, it's really hard to come up against that, unless you have ults.
this Genji, really a diverse flex player.
Here it is, final push.
Roster.
Sorry, I'm reading my notes.
Envious making another try of it. They must make this
So Winston dives on the supports.
overtime. Harry hook on the McCree though. Very low already. Oh, gets taken down by
Genji takes out that was a very important one. So the Genji took out the McCree super early. The Winston jumped on the enemy supports.
both sides. And now with the
And now it looks pretty bad for Meta Athena. But because the Genji did such good work, he has Dragon Blade. Gets 1 kill, gets 2 kills. And here is a really, really cool part. And this is a very underlooked point of DPS players. He's at 17 health. He's going to die if he tries anything. So what does he do? He has 3 seconds of Dragon Blade. He just lets it go. He doesn't give a fuck. What happens in the meantime? The Winston that was trying to kill him gets shot in the back of the head by McCree.
still alive.
The Reinhardt's still up here looking for this Genji. Genji's still alive. He's prioritizing staying alive.
McCree, but he's
Still is alive.
filtering back onto the point.
Bought time for his team to get back.
Envious may be in trouble. Harry hook on the
And now here he is.
just trying to stay alive. But man, he needs to work
Oh,
miracles.
where's he at? Well, he's around. He kills the Zarya. This This is DPS like 101, and it's the beginner course and it's the most advanced course at the same time. This Genji prioritizes living over dealing damage. A lesser Genji may have used like 4 seconds of this ult to try to kill that Reinhardt, which he wasn't going to do. So he's like, you know what? Fuck it. If I stay alive, that's more important than anything else. He made the Winston go into a bad position, got shot in the back of the head, and now the Reinhardt has to come back on point with his shield. Tracer can't focus at the choke point because of the Genji's there. Staying alive is so goddamn important. Yeah, and they pull back the numbers advantage before the Red can get back on the point. They pull the win. Well, they pull the defense, I should say.
If he had taken out both supports, it's definitely not in question on this particular hero. Chris will not be playing that Widowmaker.
I don't think so.
Probably just looking for an initial shot to see if they can get a lucky pick.
Right.
Then he's switching off. Nope, not even that. Back onto the Lucio he goes.
Libero on the Genji too, so they're actually going with no snipers.
I don't know if I like the Genji when you don't have any other dive buddies to go with him.
So this is I'll just say this beforehand. I don't want to call this what happens here lucky. But it's definitely it's an odd thing that happened, and the fact that Mickey, that's who we really want. Oh no, we want to focus on Hoon. This guy does some stuff that Zarya is, you know, not known for.
They can't allow them to get a single point here. Hook nearly connects there. Libero, oh, he does get taken down. So already.
So here they take the high ground, and you know the pokes happen. Trying to get kills, trying to build ults. This Reinhardt shield was holy shit. That was amazing. Reinhardt shield to get the Roadhog out of trouble, and now they're just kind of, you know, poking, feeling each other out, seeing who's gonna fuck up. That Reinhardt charged in, and now the weirdest shit happens. A support dies to a Zarya. And you're like, well, what the fuck? And then you're like, what the fuck? Everyone else is over here. The fuck? This Zarya spearheads this push, kills a Lucio. And now what this has done is that she saw an opening and she essentially made this area a lot weaker. This allowed the team, because everyone came back once that Lucio died, everyone came back inside, and this allows Blue to get on the point. Watch this. Lucio held the fucking high ground again. Like, what? This is why I try not to put my too much of my opinion on the game. Is I would never say, oh yeah, how do you hold this Hollywood high ground? I'm like, oh yeah, Lucio boop off, and they're like, no, that you're fucking retarded. It's like, no, it worked. So now this guy's stuck in the low ground, gets his ass kicked. Well, also, 82 charge in Zarya. Genji's keeping them back in there, and now they're gonna try to bust out of the room. Ana ult, they get a charge, or they get a hook, they get a pick on the Genji. But this Zarya is charged up, and now she's Ana ulted. Roadhog? God bless the guy. 88% charge on, or 88% ult charge on Zarya. Watch this Roadhog. He tries to live, but he's against a 70 charge Zarya that's Ana ulted. He feeds 300-400 health to the Zarya. She now gets ult. And then it's overtime. Zarya gets an ult at the exact perfect time. This Zarya cracked this point open and won it for the team. It's amazing, and it all happened from this one little. I don't know how the Zarya saw, or how Hoon saw this opening. But he saw it and he took it. And this is a pretty greedy move, but I believe this little move won him the game.
Not connecting. They lost.
So there's that Zarya. Hold on.
Now reflect.
So that they're actually down 1 here. And this is where the Zarya commits deeper. This is just a really well-read move. By moving in here, she buys her space, essentially buys her team this much space. They could have stayed on point, but once the Lucio died, they wanted to help him, but it was too late, and they wanted to save the soldier. And now they're stuck inside the room. I would say maybe Envious overcommitted on the defense of the Lucio, and they gave up they gave up the point. And now they're trying to hold the high ground. This is the next hope for them. Also, Soldier used his heal. Gets booped off.
Gets booped out. Chris has had so many good right clicks on that Lucio. Gets taken down.
It's
Man, they handled Internet Hulk well. And Envious
this Zarya cracked him open, and with help from the Lucio, getting that Soldier pick is really important here. Soldier would have been pounding out damage on everyone right now.
finally the hook comes in. And Mickey with the nano boost. But now Hoon with the nano boost to follow it up. Taimu very low, getting chased out. Mickey's on the point. We're into OT.
Yeah, so we've seen this.
On the control meter. Hoon comes in with a big graviton surge. Hoon ults again. There's a reason.
I have no idea what any of this is, and we're gonna finish tonight, guys. Oh god, yeah, Volskaya, the best map ever, everyone's favorite map. Jesus fucking Christ! I hope it's over.
This is pretty damn impressive.
This is the type of thing that really can only happen during the beginning of a new esport, right? You have
So already Widow, defensive Widow, it works. But remember what I said: if you have all tanks and a Widow as your only DPS, you're severely lacking in range. This Widow better do her fucking job. If she doesn't,
nowhere as a team. Nobody saw it coming.
you're going to lose the point very quickly. And there's actually they don't know it yet, but a counter Widow.
Themselves in Apex, and if this team can stay together, they might have a pretty bright future. Looks like we might
So yeah, opening draft, Widow sole DPS looking to cripple attacking team with picks. Andor was expecting Widow picks to counter Widow. If the latter is true, risky because she's the only DPS long range with tanks. Envy on offense, Widow Soldier long range comp with Diva. Diva will put pressure for a brief time while the Widow and Soldier deal damage. So that's what I noticed from their comps right away. And I kind of call my own shit. I'm like, oh yeah, you think you're fucking smart, Crow? You think you're so goddamn smart? Then put some money on it. Call this shit before it happens, and then I call my shit, and then, you know, sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong. But I let my other half know when I'm wrong, definitely.
Soldier, so pretty
So this Zarya,
two composition
well, this is Swatch.
them so far. Cyplayer playing very far forward.
Yeah, no kidding.
She gets blown the fuck up. I think it's Helix Rocket, and a headshot. I'm not exactly what kills her, but she drops instantly. It's just gone. Poof.
Yeah, no kidding. Really aggressive spot for him to be on that Widowmaker, and he may pay for it.
From there, Diva pressures the Widow because she's too far forward. Now this takes out one tank and their only DPS.
Managing to push back.
And not to mention that Zarya has the longest range of the tanks right here.
Exciting chain of events, but
So while everyone got pushed back, the Widow and Soldier used their increased range to take out the Reinhardt, which took out the Ana, and now they're just kind of cleaning things up.
finish off Cyplayer and Chris quickly.
Yeah, Hoon looks like he was playing a little bit too far forward. We didn't see it there, but initial kill onto him nearly immediately. Mickey just removed
Yeah, so I think this was
not
a clear abuse of Tank's short range ability
his face, and
in a rather
that's enough.
open map. It's a little bit longer range than most maps. Their only DPS is a Widow, and she got shut down near instantly.
Gloriously ineffective on point number 2.
Yeah, Zarya got deleted. I wish I could have seen what exactly happened, but it's very rare that you see 400 hit points disappear that quickly. Well, one Widow headshot will take, 300 away.
Not to mention, I think you're just much more likely overall to get
Oh, watch this, guys. This is the greatest.
Side player has switched over to the McCree, so
Oh, look at... Oh, such a sneaky flank.
was for Envious.
Oh, boop.
Same story on the Zarya.
This fucking Lucio. Look at this guy. You see it coming. Look at him. Ah, that cocky son of a bitch. And then, you know what?
Libero actually there
2 people get booped. Everyone jumps off.
again, and that's
Reset.
the reset from Envious.
Yeah, Libero looks like he managed to boot Mickey off the edge there, and another boot coming in. Onto,
I love that.
so Chris is, he has been, had just a ridiculous.
That Lucio. This Lucio is so fucking good.
I don't know if I've ever seen a best of 5 with so many per map.
You haven't seen me play 5 games of solo queue, Lonnie. That's
Okay,
why.
fair enough.
Yeah, all right, Wolfie. If we don't include those, I'm in agreement.
Watch this. Oh my god, the boop. So what happened was Soldier wants to take the high ground while the team forces in. He's going to go up in the high ground. Boop. Boop.
And again, Harry Hook booped away. Again,
And now,
He's there.
Reinhardt dead.
very, very.
Already at a disadvantage, but they break up.
If he had been booped, he would have gotten the ultimate. They would have been able to put together a pretty good attack. But as is, they're pulling back. They're resetting again.
Wow, Internet Home gonna go down the.
So not only did that happen, let me double check if this is the one.
Me play
Yeah, so not only did that happen,
Okay, fair enough.
what made them commit besides right there. I don't know if anyone saw that, but watch the defensive Zarya get hooked.
Yeah, all right, Wolfie.
Right there, she already got hooked. So Zarya got snagged in. Watch Meta Athena's response to this, which is really fucking great. So there she is. She has her bubble. She's gonna die, right? The Diva and the Reinhardt immediately save her. They commit 3 to save the Zarya. While Soldier tries to take high ground, he gets booped back.
Envious.
At this point, we can see 1, 2, 3. This is where this guy's at. I believe it's like 4 and 5. While Red is in the middle. Right? Here's Red. Here's a guy. Here's Red guy. Essentially, they're in the middle of everyone. Reinhardt gets killed because he's in the middle of everyone, and from there they all just pull back. So it was a really cool.
Would have been able to put together a pretty good attack, but as is, they're pulling back. They're resetting.
Essentially, because they committed so hard on saving the Zarya, and the enemy committed so hard on killing her, is that everyone used all their resources.
Right there. Let's
But Lucio created a numbers disadvantage by booping the Soldier off the high ground,
the damage threat.
which gave it essentially a 5v5 on the ground, but they were in poorer positioning, right? Because the Reinhardt was in the middle of everyone. So here we go. They just walk on the point. Like, what are the balls in this guy?
Envious trying to make a play. They're going to go ahead and charge the nano boosted Hoon right now. They hit him with the Earth Shatter. Harry Hook looking for some kills, trying to lay down the damage, but he's afraid to approach. And Saya player somehow gets 2 with the Deadeye. That's another reset.
So this one,
Another reset. Meta Athena does have to use a ton of ults, 5, in order to hold that off. And if there's one thing that I think Envy should be taking from these.
let me double check this. Yeah, I think this is the 3rd push. So yeah, Flame Strike, you're correct again.
Here they come. Envious trying to make a
We can see red. Blue's already spread out, right? So blue's here. I believe a blue person's up here. And I believe...
play. They're going to go.
Yeah. So Lucio ults, and he's just trying to stop all these ults that are trying to kill everyone right away.
Right now.
Soldier doesn't get... He gets pretty much nothing. He attempts to stop the McCree on the high ground. I think this was a little bit of a misplay on Soldier's part, and I usually don't critique things like this. But he used an Ana Soldier ult, and he got nothing with it.
The damage, but he's afraid to approach.
While he was busy, after... Like, he focused McCree, and after McCree, you know, just... hid from him. As soon as Soldier stopped the pressure, he came out with High Noon. These guys are so busy with everyone on the ground, they got killed. But yeah, you can see they push 2, and yeah, blue creates this pocket. Red comes in.
Trying to make a play. They're gonna go ahead.
He really committed.
The nano boosted Hoon right now. They hit him with the Earth Shatter. Harry Hook looking for some kills, trying to lay down the damage, but he's afraid to approach. And
But that D.Va ult was really good.
that's another reason.
I like that maneuver when you allow the team to push in. You D.Va ult behind them, right? So I've seen this a couple times. Red will push in, and you kind of use a D.Va ult over here or over here, anywhere past this guy's shield. And what happens is you make him pick a side, right? It's pretty simple.
A ton of ults, 5, in order to hold that off. And if there's one thing that I think Envy should be taking from these matches against Meta,
But that was it was good. The Ana Soldier combo was rough. That I don't want to put it all on that, but man, that was it was rough.
try pushes where we're not going to be using any ultimates at all, and then attempt to
At this point,
instead, and then take the next fight.
what happens here is something I haven't considered yet, and I'm really thinking about it and how pros use it. So they switched to fucking Reaper, guys. I haven't seen that guy in years. What's he doing here? The guy's old. He's not good anymore. He's out of practice.
Contest those heavy health tank.
So this is a fucking beautiful angle. We can see Red commit 1, 2, 3.
Some Meta team side of things. Who's just gonna come over the
And 1, 2, 3.
A lot of damage coming in. Johnson gets a kill on the Coco, and that's going to be another successful hold for Meta.
So now people, you may not notice anything particular about that ult.
Time for the rest of his team to get those ultimates off.
But because they spent so many ults beforehand, they needed to win this fight. And the thing is what Zarya ult does is, I mean, it pulls them all together, but what it really does is if you get a good Zarya ult, even 2 to 3 people, and that's all you really need to stop the push,
There's a follow-up.
what it does is it let his entire team that used all their ults to fight before a chance to get 50% or so. 40 to 50% because of the one fight. And so I started thinking about this, and I've actually seen it in a couple pro matches, and I don't know if people are doing it knowingly. But they're saving Zarya ult. Like they'll use 5 ults on one push, and they'll try to stop the counter push with one Zarya ult, and use that one Zarya ult to get all of their ultimate back, or at least a good chunk of their ultimate back. And I think it's a really clever use of Zarya. Too many people just think, oh, you clear the point, wipe the team, and that's it. It's like, no. We're using this ult to build ult charge for the rest of my team, while stopping the push at the same time. It's a bit greedy, but I think it's incredibly smart.
Set up something like a Graviton Hog if Mickey's able to get.
So this fight starts off. We can see the bubble go on Reinhardt because Reinhardt charged Reinhardt, but it doesn't matter because they go off the edge,
They're going for it.
I believe. Oh no, they didn't. It's a different fight. Sorry.
This is the push. Envy
So they jump on point right here. This is really important. So the Reinhardt charged the other Reinhardt, and they got stuck on this wall. The D.Va went to support the Reinhardt, and the Reinhardt actually didn't take any damage because of the allied bubble. Oh! The fuck was that? Just Stevo! Just Stevo! Thank you for hosting my stream. 34 viewers. God, that sound scares the living shit out of me. Anyone coming from Stevo's stream right now? I'm just doing a breakdown of Envious vs Meta Athena. It's been going on for holy shit, guys. We've been reviewing this game for 2 hours. You're catching the end of it. I'm not used to the host sound, guys. All right, Steve-O, how's it going, man? Thanks for the host. How were your games today? I'll tell you what, mine not so good. Not so fucking good. I think I lost 3 games, but I won 1 and got all my LSR back. But it's Bastion meta. I'm thinking about. Can you talk in here? Yeah, of course. What does it mean by host? It means when you're done streaming, you can like hit /host and type someone else's name from Twitch, and essentially it just redirects all his viewers to mine. So there's like 30 people watching him, and now 30 people watching me. So thank you. But let's go back. So this charge happened right here, and you'll see this bubble happen, and you'll see the blue Reinhardt not take any damage. So he didn't take any damage from that charge. Now this is important because this Reinhardt has ult. This could really fuck up the game. But when that charge happened, this Roadhog also flanked. So Roadhog just uses ult there, and all of a sudden, pow, dead. In the meantime, this McCree tries to do something, doesn't get shit. And then at this point, they have a numbers advantage, right? They actually lost 3. This is going to be tough to get back from. Here you can see chat now. Hey, what up, Steve-O? Thanks for the host again, man. We're doing a little bit of review right now. We're looking at NVS vs Meta Athena. But yeah, like I said, Steve-O, I don't know if I'll be playing tomorrow or the next day. I think I'll do some more reviews rather than playing this Bastion meta. It's Junkrat doesn't get too hit hard by it, but man, it's just not fun. How's the junk in the Protect the Bastion meta? It's not terrible. I'm not feeling it as much as everyone else is. But, it still sucks. You know what I mean? Sim is actually really good for Bastion meta, so I'm loving it. You and Eva. Oh yeah, Steve-O, did you want to do that 6 stack with Eva? But Eva is like at some type of fucking 80% win rate or some shit. He's doing so good. Bit too close to the mic, sorry. But yeah, he's doing really good. I think he's going to pop 4,500.
Try to hold this with respawns.
Well, they're going to have a lot of ult soon, though.
So this is a really good chance. They bridge, trying to take the point. They're just stalling for time right now. Keep stalling. D.Va gets the ult off. They all have to run off point. From there, they finally killed the Zarya. Most important tank to kill, or most important person to kill. And with the Lucio ult and the D.Va ult, they're able to bridge the distance to get everyone out on point without too many deaths. And that's the thing about getting on point. Whenever the scramble happens and you gotta run on point, what you want to do is, yeah, it's great to kill people, but you want to survive. As soon as you survive, you start getting allies in, and there you can start taking the fight.
Able to push Envious back off of that point. However, Envy's going to have another strong attack here. Nuss had to switch to the Genji, and he's going to reset his entire ult economy in doing so back on the Ana. So right now, Meta Athena still...
Because you always win the shield war. Oh, okay. Interesting. Yeah, and Symmetra's orbs would force Bastion out of form. So they pull the old speed boost into the upper balcony shit. I'm surprised Lucio wasn't there to boop him. But 3 people commit up top, 3 up here, and then there's 3 committing on point. What do they do? Well, first of all, Lucio eats shit. But this Zarya ult, super important. What happened is that they flanked 3 above, and they shot 3 below. And Zarya did the right thing. Whenever you have a flank hitting you at the same time, it's best just to take either with ultimate advantage or just more numbers and just crush one of the flanks immediately. And that way you can just come back and deal with the 3. And that's what they did. They used Zarya ult to stop the upper push, and they just crushed the lower push afterwards.
That was a great defensive follow-up. They saw the Reinhardt go in. Everybody trying to follow him gets sucked into the gravity well, and the kills picked up.
Timing's overrated.
Meta Athena.
Nobody knows I'm here.
A squatting fat man on your flank.
Crouching time move, hidden Roadhog. Be careful. Harry Hook's got the Death Blossom again.
They don't find him.
Envious has a lot else to work with.
Oh, hold on. Hold on, I gotta pause this. Alright. I had to find out where I was in my notes.
Going deep with this one. Chris very low. Ooh, he nearly finished him off, but couldn't quite do it. Has to be careful here.
Side player picks up Taimu with the pulse bomb, so
Again, so this is the same thing we've been seeing all day.
Support ults too. Harry
Red tries to commit above.
they don't find him.
Envious has a lot else to work.
So they do the same thing again where they flank above. This time they don't have any Zarya ult. They also have fewer numbers. So what do? They just back up a bit.
Too. Harry
As they back up,
Chris very
so the top flank came in, but got stopped. But the bottom flank didn't. You guys can't see that too well. So the top flank came in, but it got stopped in the middle of it. But the bottom flank came in. What happened was, because this is almost the identical setup of what we're seeing on the map, is that blue's going to turn around, or red will turn around the defense, and they're going to crush this that is now overextended because they stopped the flank really quickly.
low.
So look, here, they deflected the flank.
Has to be
Reinhardt,
careful here.
too far in.
Picks up Taimu with the pulse
By the time the two people can even try to get down to help them, they've lost.
Envy's gonna have to
They lost them.
That's another reset. Envious down to about a minute left. Going to be less than a minute when the next push comes.
And actually, the Reinhardt lives longer, and they crushed the top flank. Actually,
It's gonna be hard for them now.
Yes, it is.
Taimu on the Pharah. So big change right now. They see that the Tracer's out. They know that there is no long-range answer to this Pharah. So this is the last ditch.
oh yeah, Steve-O, you saw the. Oh no, you didn't. Eva, he wants to do a 6-stack with us. It'd be me, you. I'd be Junkrat. He'd be on Mercy. You'd be on Symmetra. The other thought was XQC on Winston, but that guy's gonna be hard to get a hold of. Kabooms could be Zenyatta. We could also pick up Kepri for sniper if we wanted to. Fuey, no. I don't think we want a Torb. Don't tell Fuey. Shh. I don't think we want Fuey, but don't tell him. He may be here. Shit. But yeah, he wants to make the stupidest fucking 6-stack ever. Now I don't have an ult, but I don't care. Yeah, it does sound fun. Well, you're on my friends list, and we'll talk. Cody for Sombra was a choice. Yeah, we'll talk to some people. I think we have a lot of people on friends lists, so we'll see what happens. Oh yeah, color Bastion on Bastion. That was the one.
Attempt.
So I didn't talk enough about this last point. Sorry about this, guys. Got distracted. So here's where they push above. Now they run into 2 tanks here, and that's what kind of stops their push. The Reinhardt actually goes from above, and he starts flanking from below instead. Now, we can see the Roadhog, Taimu. He ults. We also see Saya player. We'll see the Roadhog right here. So the Tracer is going to single out the Roadhog and kill him. And now while this top push gets stopped by the 2 tanks, see, like they're stuck. This Reaper, you can see the Reaper falling back. But essentially, Reaper falls back. The Reinhardt, look at him point, he's pretty much ignored. So while everyone's not fucking around with the Reinhardt, they kill the Zarya up top. Tracer singles out the Roadhog. At this point, it's their attack is now fractured. Just because the bottom pushed in while the top couldn't. The top got pushed back out and killed. So now there's just one guy and the Reinhardt on the point, and everyone else is, scattered around. At this point, they just have to back out.
The Pharah. So big change right now. They see that the
We just need Violent as our cheerleader. Dude, that guy, yeah. Actually, Fuey's friends with Violet. Violent. We should call him Violet. That'd be fucking great. He needs a pretty name. But they invited me to his Discord, and we made peace. But yeah, I don't know. Me and Violent had to talk about it. There's no hard feelings between each other, but he does yell. He's very passionate about the game.
big ultimates like Death Blossom that can really deal with this.
It's so hard to make fair work on this point. You're so exposed. You're coming.
So this Reinhardt charge,
Really deal with this.
It's so hard to make fair work on this point. You're so exposed.
he catches the Ana, but he hits the corner where there's no ledge. So he dies with the Ana. Now this favors the defense because it's Volskaya. Reaper hits the same Reaper problem he always has, where everyone just runs away from him as soon as he ults. So this Reaper Ana ult, what little damage it does gets mitigated by the Lucio ult. But you can see everyone just ran away from him. Like, he's in the middle of nothing, right? There's a pocket.
Try to chew through it with the Death Blossom.
This Reinhardt gets the Reaper, which counters the Ana ult, but he also got the Lucio in the back that you can't see.
Knocked down. Gets taken out. Libero.
From there, they have the numbers advantage. Respawns are hitting faster. This push has been destroyed.
Team fight for Meta Athena.
Saya player instantly switched to the Soldier 76 to help out against the
Oh yeah, Violent just got upset because I played junk. It's the normal shit.
made the decision, and now he's got 60% ult charge, but the response was so great. Have the Diva
So they got 13 seconds left, 10.
and this is one of the reasons
Tactics again are getting thrown out the window now because time's so low. They just have to rush towards the point.
very many options to shut him down.
They do a pretty good job. So they get on point. They're staying alive. Winston commits above. He's trying to get to the squishies.
Attack visor. Kills already coming in.
But here's the beautiful part.
Nobody on the point.
Yeah.
This one. There goes overtime, and Envious gonna just come away.
While they were busy committing on the squishies and just fighting normally, the soldier ulted from farther away. No one was there to able to clean him up.
Meta Athena holds for nearly 7 minutes on point B. And there are plenty of opportunities there, but as the match dragged on, you really saw Meta Athena be more conservative with their ult usage. Basically, the way they've been playing is
You can? Sure? Okay, alright. That makes a bit more sense. Soldier 76, Tracer, something other than the Hanzo.
So here we go.
I think I would play far on this point if I was Libero.
Envious on defense, Meta Athena attacking.
Be a soldier.
We'll stop. What do we notice? We got a Pharah. We got a soldier. So these are long-range classes. So I would say they're going to look for a pick. And of course, these are going to be stuck together. D.Va is really divey. So they got a good front line for their long-range classes.
And an Ana.
And Volskaya is really good because they can flank left like they're going to do.
Mercy pocket
Now what happens here is really, really interesting.
certainly work.
So,
Surprise around the side.
Envious decision to defend.
Nobody in his line of sight.
Envious is all up here on the high ground. Athena has seen this, and they're immediately flanking towards the other high ground. At least half the team.
Make sure. There we go.
So this is really good for Pharah.
He nearly did. He had an opportunity, but
The two tanks, because look, tank, long range class. Soldier's the only thing they have to deal with Pharah. I mean, they could have got her here, but now, since the hook has been used, they don't really have a good answer for Pharah.
Try and knock them off the high.
D.Va sees that the two tanks have engaged the Pharah and has come to support him. So now this D.Va is creating a mess while this Pharah can do more work.
same here. I thought that was all
Now you'd have to worry about the soldier, but somehow
to defend.
the soldier gets picked off from long distance.
Taimu a little bit there. You can still use
And now there's no answer for the Pharah, and she starts unleashing hell.
dead. Libero.
The tanks are too busy with the people on the ground with the other tanks.
I mean, we've seen Libero be
Pharah gets 3-4 kills.
already. He is completely routed.
He's hooked, but it's too late.
Gets a bit of
Uh,
revenge, but they've lost
Losing that soldier
with the charge.
and having only one long-range DPS for this Pharah, I mean, they didn't know he was coming. It kind of bit him in the ass.
Last long gets the damage boosted.
But it was a really good thing that the soldier Ana picked the other soldier. From there, it's just picking away at him from long-range classes because they had no other long range.
This series, he's missed a couple big ones, and I think he's been
Let me check chat.
too eager to pull the trigger at times, but his positioning with the shield has been very good. And again, we see
You hated Steve-O Season 1?
cleaned up
Yeah.
nearly the same amount of time.
I always hated his Junkrat constantly.
But this is going to be a very difficult hold here for Envy. They will not be changing their heroes, and neither will Meta.
Everyone hated the us off-meta characters the first 2 seasons because we were figuring shit out.
It's certainly possible.
So this is a really cool maneuver. We can already see they're essentially doing a pincer attack. They're doing double flanks.
Harry or
D.Va tries to get a boop, doesn't pay off, and now they take the back lines.
He's ready to go. Harry Hook getting pooped way far away, but not off the edge of the map like he wanted. Chip Zion has his
Now I expected more kills by this point,
not a great situation.
but they only get 1, and then Hog Alt just tears everyone up.
They're gonna survive this attack.
That kills 3.
It's been pretty even, but Envious should have.
And once you're down half your team on this point, you're just not taking it.
The Reds came in.
I could care less what happens at this point.
For Meta Athena, as Mickey
That ult seemed a bit wasted.
started building the control percent, but now time move back again on the Winston.
Oh wait, shit! I was reading it backwards.
That res. Self-destruct for Meta Athena.
So just killed, yeah.
Tries to delay. They've started building the control percent, but now
But look at this dart. I just want to make note.
as Mickey
This Winston
delay. They've started
just jumps,
control percent.
gets darted.
Move back again on the Winston.
Amazing dart, and leads to a charge kill.
Takes him out, and Harry Hook.
Things were looking pretty bad, but this soldier, he did this the other game too, where everyone was on point, and he flanks to attack, but then he flanks deeper because it's actually safer back here.
Tack visor. There's
With Tac Visor and Ana Alt, he cleans up the desperately needed point.
They didn't end up
It was looking bad.
point actually, as Meta Athena starts switching up.
yeah, I mean that's really what it's all.
Is that why I never joined? Because people always talk shit? Yeah, it's... so yeah, I don't join chat because people talk too much shit. And also, I really depend, because I'm a projectile-based class, I depend on hearing people around corners. And if I can't hear them, then I can't mitigate the fact that my attack takes 1 to 2 seconds to get to them. I need to hear those things. And I'm with you on that. People need a scapegoat, but at the same time, I've fucked up games for my teams.
All about, right? Is at the end of the day,
So yeah, they attack from both flanks. No one's killed during the flank.
and Envious
Soldier kills the soldier, but the Roadhog burns alt, getting 3 kills. They counter the Hog alt with a Mercy res.
Realizes, hey, they're going to be playing with a lot of very
But D.Va stalls on the point, buying time for her soldier to get around.
them out here. Side
That D.Va ult that she shot straight up forced everyone off point. It was right after that when everyone crashed on point again that soldier was able to ult with his nano
diving
visor.
better too with the Harmony Orb, and you can handle the respawns with this.
So this is the craziest shit. And like props to Meta Athena for doing this on most maps. Is look, they just walk on the point. I've never seen a team this cocky. They just get on point and they're like, yeah, fucking deal with it, boys.
first shatter now.
Ooh, that is dangerous. He's
So tries to get a charge, doesn't get anything. Gets a little bit deeper in, gets Reinhardt ulted.
with his opponent's Earth Shadow.
At this point, it's looking rough.
Through this point, Coco very low. Hoon has the
Zarya ult, or Ana ult on Zarya is pretty much mitigated.
perhaps
Soldier holding the high ground. Soldiers and high grounds, man.
great, and it doesn't look like they're going to get turned into anything.
They get cleaned up.
There is
The soldier holding the high ground and just essentially waiting out the Ana ult on the Zarya is key. They couldn't get any kills. As soon as all the resources were burnt up, the soldier on the high ground just cleaned them up.
though as part of that defense. Tack visor up now, and they need to get that self-destruct out from Mickey before they can really commit to a kill on this point. He'll just be bouncing his way across the landscape.
Yeah, Steve, I've been saying that for a while. As soon as people stop worrying about SR and learn to get better, that's when they can start doing things.
Just getting pretty close to
So here we have
that transcendence now.
the attack. The Divas kind of trade blows. Again, Reinhardt just walks on point.
No, I'm saying that he gets healed and his allies get ult charge on their healing.
The Reinhardt charges the Reinhardt, getting a kill. This is super important. They've won the Reinhardt advantage, and with the Reinhardt advantage, if an ult comes out from Reinhardt, like there's nothing you can do to stop it. This is the second time that Meta Athena has used Zarya ult to get Harry Hook off of a high ground. Second time. They did it on Hollywood, and they're doing it here. This one pick is super important. In fact, I think it's what wins them most things. And now this is really interesting what happens. So we're seeing all these ults go off, and all these people get killed. But I noticed something really funky about the situation. So Reinhardt gets back on point.
Less than one tick away from winning this best of 5. They're so close. Chonxic finally gets a kill on Coco, and that may be it.
Here comes the Winston again.
Now Chips comes back in, but he's only the Ana. He can't do
And
it
with
by
this,
himself. And that may be about it. Chips stayed alive a lot longer than I thought he
Oh.
would actually. And now the Diva comes back in, the Winston comes back in.
see everyone's just using ults, and they get it. Now, before this whole entire scramble happened, watch this. It took me a while. I think I spent like probably a half hour looking at this. So what we want to look at, I don't give two shits about the scramble phase. This is what I want to look at.
Way across the landscape.
The initial start of the attack.
Himself, a little bit of shield damage to get healed back up for a bit
So
more
here we have a Zen soldier on the high ground.
charge.
The 3 tanks are going to get on point. Ana's back here.
Chris getting pretty close to that.
Now watch this.
Unfortunately, you can't get ult charge.
The Reinhardt is going to pick the Reinhardt.
I'm saying that he gets healed and his allies get ult charge on their healing.
Diva ults above, doesn't get anything. But they do get this Reinhardt advantage. Now, they're running a Diva Winston. And so they want to dive on the supports. And so that's what they do. So while this is all going on, the Reinhardt's dead. You can see
Anyway,
the soldier die here. If we go back, we can see the soldier here and the Zen start taking damage, and we'll see these two people are the culprits. So what happens is Reinhardt charges, gets a kill. These two guys aren't on point because they're going to start attacking the supports.
Killed himself all the time.
They now killed a soldier.
science.
So, dead, diving. It is now 2 supports defending the point.
It's a kill on the who in this transcendence.
The supports try to do what they can,
Have they won the fight enough?
right? At this point, Diva has to rush back to the point because there's no one there except for 2 supports.
Out of control.
Problem is, one support dies while the dive is trying to come back. One support's already dead.
Messiah player with the tac visor.
Second support is dead. At this point, Diva is now on the point alone. She gets killed.
Maybe they can turn.
Diva gets killed.
He had the nano.
Guess who's on the point now?
Not very long to use it.
Winston.
He gets a kill with the left hook.
So now Winston's on the point. He gets killed. So what we can learn here is this is just a really sophisticated stagger. Like, this is just some really cool way to lose the game.
Sitting on the point right now, less than one tick away from winning this best of
Because at this point, I really don't care what happens because everyone's scrambling for the point. But yeah, I mean, just like, this is the problem with the dive comp on attack or on defense, is that you jump off the point.
Unfortunately, you can't get ult charge.
Let's look at it again. Why do I consider this a stagger?
I'm saying that he gets
Reinhardt dies?
his allies get ult charge on their healing.
Yeah,
This is where Reinhardt dies,
you can't do that, otherwise people would just kill themselves all the time.
and then the soldier dies.
Anyway,
At this point, it's not really a stagger. They just got killed. But because they committed 2 to the dive and they have 2 supports on point,
transcendence is a little bit late though.
now Lucio dies, right? Because that's all they had to defend.
Control percent built up here.
Now the Ana dies, And now D.Va dies on point. And now Winston dives on point, and he dies. They just killed everyone one by one. Because of the overcommittal on the dive. The dive comp didn't realize they were diving at the inopportune times, even if they did kill the support, or they killed the soldier. They didn't get the Zen. They forced Zen to pop alt. This is just all a very, very sophisticated stagger. And that's how they win the last point. It was really well hidden, and it was difficult to see, but I would consider this just a really cool stagger death. Yeah, and then they lose. And that's it. That's the end of the review. They lost 3-0. I know usually from like 3-0 games, you usually don't think you can learn that much, but we definitely learned a lot of cool stuff. This sophisticated stagger was a result of the dive comp. Again, I don't want to go over it too much because I said a lot about it, but they lost 2 on point. 2 dove in. By the time they figured out something was wrong, the 2 other supports were killed one at a time. And then D.Va got there first, and then Winston got there first. And yeah, that's... Sometimes it's tough to see that, but that's what happened. What else did we learn? We recognized a bunch of patterns that Team Athena had from Helios. They like to go around wide on each map. And while they'll commit 5 here, they're going to commit 1 on this one flank that they opened up, while the defense defends here with 6. We also learned that they like to, at a certain point, send in the Reinhardt, flank with a D.Va and a Tracer, and Ana ult over the top. Or not Ana ult, Ana grenade. They did that 2 maps. They didn't do it on the one just because I think they lost a flanker. Hollywood, we learned don't fuck with Lucio. Holy shit, guys. Lucio fucked people up on Hollywood. That was amazing. That is a very versatile use of Lucio. How he secured the high ground. How he fought for the high ground. How he dove a goddamn Reinhardt to secure the Reinhardt advantage, which allowed Reinhardt to ult on point, get 3 stuns. It was pretty good. It was pretty cool.
Okay, that's a little bit interesting.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool things that happened. So I will be putting this on YouTube. And yeah, I don't know if I should... I don't know, like... where's it at? Hold on. Yeah, this is it. I mean, like I said, these are the notes I have on this. And I don't know if I should post them anywhere or whatever. But I probably won't post them. There's just too much shit. And I gotta proofread this stuff and yada, yada, yada. But... yeah, there's a lot of stuff to learn. But with that, I'm going to have to end the stream because I'm tired. Does anyone have any questions? I know I've been talking for like 3 hours. Oh, shit. GS Wong with the 10 bits. Thank you, GS Wong. Yes, Steve. Sorry, I was in the middle of commentating or reviewing this. So thanks for the host, man. Sorry I didn't get to talk to you as much as I wanted to. But yeah, we'll have to fuck around sometime in the ladder. Do you think Meta Athena have practiced the pocket and flank and using grab to get All's charge and D.Va Rein jumping? Save Zarya kind of strats or a lot, or is it possibly to do in the solo queue? So I would say Meta Athena probably has that move where I need more data, but where they dive with the Reinhardt, they flank with the Zarya, or not Zarya, with the Tracer and D.Va, and they Ana grenade over it. I think that's something they practice. I believe that's a technique in the repertoire that people need to focus on. And same thing with the flank, and then sending one guy this way, where they take the outside path and then they come on the point from the sideways. I think those are practice maneuvers. I believe the pocket strat is happening a lot just because it's natural to happen. When you have a bunch of people that can't take an oncoming force, and as soon as they realize that they should stop fighting it, they just run away. And this natural runaway motion creates a pocket. I don't know if they're knowing to do that, but I think that's something that's just becoming habit for everyone in the game. As for D.Va and Winston constantly diving on groups of people, I think that's just in their skill set. I don't think they learn that. They just know that it's strong. As for the Zarya grabbing charge, like everyone's saving Zarya ult to do solo. I don't know if that's a thing or if that's what's happening, but that's what's happening, but I don't know if they're knowingly doing that. Again, I would have to talk to the pro teams. And it is possible to do some of this stuff in solo queue, but it's going to be difficult, right? It's just going to be really hard. Because all of it is based on teamwork. It's not about one man's mechanics, except for that Lucio. If you can do that in a game, then fuck, yeah. You can maybe carry a team with that type of Lucio play. But don't expect that type of support from your team, so expect to like dive as Lucio and just get killed. That's what's gonna happen. So my next video, you guys recommended it already, but it's C9 versus Kongdu. It goes all 5, so it's really cool. I think it's gonna be a good game to review. I'll try to get that for this weekend. I'll see how much time I have. So this game is only like